I guess we're ready to call the meeting to order. And it is 6:32 p.m. We need to do roll call. Terry Werner. Here. Matthew McGovern.
Here.
Maury Domijo.
Here.
Mike McLeod.
Here.
And Sam Houston Clinton.
Here.
Excellent. Next is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor and protect the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. But still there, the CC is not correct. I'm saying under God, climate and irresistible. It's just a rough approximation, I guess.
Oh, she hasn't set to do that.
Okay, so
One and irresistible.
now, if we will not forget, please, this is difficult. All right. So Deanna is not here, she's in class. And I don't have a driver's license for this thing. But we practiced before she left for class. I think I can get us through. Should I just close that? I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know. All right, wait, I do. I think.
Yeah, it has an X up in the top, if you put the cursor on it.
I thought that was just the settings.
Well,
Yeah.
I know, I thought it had an X a second ago, it went away.
Maybe the setting says off. It's not accurate at all.
Zoom. Oh, I'm down here. There it is. Okay. All right, hold on. You can't see it, but I can. Pop out overlay. We should bottom. How about you just turn it off? Well, I'm sorry to say. We have to leave it on. Okay, so next. Next is public comments. And again, I apologize, Deanna has class, we'll either learn how to do this or we'll die trying. Public comments.
You'll die trying.
It could happen. In order that I received them. We have Bill Hamilton.
What is that reading?
Hmm?
What is that reading? Need to turn pieces. You got pieces spaces.
Well, thank you. My name is Bill Hamilton. I'm the, with the Caldwell County ASD #3, and also tonight I'm representing them and as well as the Martindale Fire Rescue. Chief Germer is here as always. He's my bodyguard. I wanted to talk about, this is a good news report. I want to talk about a milestone that we hit earlier this week, and that was after several years worth of negotiations and filing and refiling and changing, we were approved to go ahead for bid on our project to build the new fire station.
Wow.
I've had so many times where there's one more list of this, and we need 5 more items or this and that. I was asked our representatives, are you sure? Are you sure? Can I really tell the people this? Because I've been asked for years, when are you gonna start on the building? When are you gonna start the building? The person that's asked me the most is Chris. He wants it and needs that building bad. We really do need it bad. So we're gonna move forward with construction bids. We actually today, the publication went out for the bid solicitation. We'll be taking bids in. If anyone knows, we're looking for a general contractor. If anyone knows a good, reputable, qualified general contractor to take on the project, we'd love to have them bid. We will have bid packets at the fire station, current fire station, starting tomorrow. And anybody who wants a bid packet is welcome to get one and hopefully bid. We're fairly confident that within the dollars we have budgeted, we can get bids in there. One of the things that slowed us down, that was on us, not on them, is the cost of, which you probably know very well. The cost of construction went up seriously in the last several years, and we had to kind of chase that with more money because we're being funded, the loan is being funded by USDA. And you say, why USDA? We're a fire department, but rural fire departments like Martindale Fire Department fall under the Department of Agriculture. So we're under the Department of Agriculture of Texas. And that allows us to get some of the benefits that come with doing business with USDA. So we're able to get a long-term, low-interest loan. So that's why we're doing that. So this is really great news for our fire members. I mean, they were excited. I almost got a kiss the other night at the meeting. First, not from Chris. But anyway, so they're really excited. The building basically is it's the same building. For those of you who are on the council, it's the same building, design, everything's the same as what we presented a couple of years ago when we were going for the scenic corridor information. Sam asked us then what kind of trees we're gonna put in there. I don't know. There were drawings of trees. So
Okay.
Sam's gonna be our tree consultant for the when we get to that point. It's a 2-story building, 11,000 square feet, and we're thinking it'll be completed late 2026, early 2027, and it can't happen too soon. We still got a long way to get from here to there. The really good news is for the citizens that we serve, because what we have here that we don't have now that we're going to have there is we will have backup electrical system, we'll have backup internet system, we will have radio communication with any emergency agency, I guess basically in the state. We can get there from there, because we do in an emergency, we deal with a lot of different agencies. It may be DPS, it may be the helicopters, it may be this and that. So we'll have all that capability there. We have a high wind shelter room that will be in there. It will hold, I guess if everybody's pretty good friends, you probably get almost 100 people in the room. It's a windproof shelter, which is something that we haven't even dreamed about here. The other thing we're gonna have is we're gonna have RV hookups on the property, not because we're gonna get camping revenue, but we have RVs. They come in and during disasters, and it may be a Red Cross RV, it may be FEMA's RV. The Caldwell County Emergency Management has their trailer that they bring in, and it's just where they can, have office space, kind of take care of business there and help people that are in need, because that would be a gathering point also where people could be dropped off. They could stay there. There might be food served there. We can do a lot of things. We did all those things, all of our little fire station in 2015. So it's a piece of cake for us to do it out of this new station for sure. Okay. These all the things that we were getting with the station primarily help us do a better job for the citizens in case of a disaster. But the other thing that the station will also accommodate is it will accommodate parking and the accommodations for the staff of a ambulance. We are our fire department. We are a fire rescue. We're fire rescue. We're first responders. We have the most. I guess we still have the most EMT trained firefighters in the county over any other station in the county, any other fire department. But we are not. We're not medical. We don't have an ambulance. There is a medical ESD that some of you may know, you may have seen it, shows up on your tax bill, ESD 5, which was formed to be an ambulance, emergency medical service, ESD. They have been talking with us, and there is an interest in having an ambulance, they have an interest, we have an interest in having an ambulance in that fire station. So the fire station is being built to accommodate both the things that we need to have for them, plus an indoor parking space for an ambulance. That'll help tremendously. And talking to the guy that heads up that program, he's very interested. When's your building gonna be done? We're interested because they get a lot of calls. They've had a number of serious calls recently at 80 and 110. Well, they have to come all the way from, Lockhart, just kind of north of the toll road off of 142 is where the closest ambulance is. And so it's got to run all the way down from there down to Martindale, and it makes a big difference. The number one call that we get in Martindale are medical. That's a majority of our calls are on medical. You say, well, your fire department be fires. Fires are down on the list. It's medicals that are the most. That's partly due because we have an aging community, but it's we do get a lot of medical calls. Some are minor. We are the first responders. We'll respond to that medical call, and if it's something that that person needs to go to the hospital or something, then they'll have to dispatch an ambulance. If the ambulance is at this station as opposed to up north, they get there a lot quicker. So that'll be a good thing. Let's see. Okay, I can't really express how excited the guys have been, in addition to the one that almost kissed me, but we have grown the fire department from a few volunteers to now we have 15 part-time firefighters. And we're down to about 4 volunteers because the volunteers don't come in like they used to. People don't live right down the street from the fire department. We have very few people that actually live in this community. And so we have gone to where we have these part-time paid firefighters. They're all, first responder trained. Like I said, we have 15 of them. We have about four volunteers unpaid. And I give all that credit to Chris. I mean, it's not, I've been involved with the fire department for quite a while. Chris, believe it or not, when he was about 5, he joined the fire department. Now he's been, okay. And you've been there for, do the math. You're
Right.
how many years?
30 now. So.
Okay, well, there you go. A long time. Over half his life he's been with the fire department. He was too young to even drive. He was too young to even ride on trucks back then. I guess couldn't drive them. Anyway, so he's to be credited. We're really fortunate to have him as our chief, and he has been for quite some time. But currently, we're working out of a 50-year-old building. Our building that we're in now is 50 years old this year. It was the first real building that the fire department ever built. They were organized in 1974. They built that building in 1975, and we're still there. It works, but not well. The vehicles really need to be parked inside, and they're not. We have two inside, we have 4 outside, and that's just not acceptable. So anyway, but we're getting that solved. I think we're going to be well positioned for as the community grows. Chris and I have gotten several calls from meetings. They want to talk to us about contractors saying, what about fire service here and there? So I don't know if any of these guys are going to hatch, but they've been talking to us about, we're going to do this subdivision, that subdivision. So we've heard about that. They're not all within the city limits of Martindale, but they're all within our fire district. Our fire district goes basically down the Highway 80 corridor from Old Bastrop Highway all the way down to the toll road. So we got a long skinny one, and we go from the river just a little bit on the north side of Highway 80. But that's my report. I wanted to pass on the good news, and today was a great day to have a meeting because I thought, man, I got to tell somebody about this. So here I am. Thank you very much.
All right, next is Mary Beth Hartburn.
Okay, first of all, a big thank you to the city council for approving the city budget and had the funding for the library. We appreciate that. Okay, also, today we received two huge notebooks. The library is the repository for some items. Anyway, this is the TCEQ domestic wastewater permit application for the Texas Pollutant Discharge Elimination System permit. Anyway, that was for the Martindale wastewater treatment plant, and also one from the engineers permit application. Anyway, the rest of this is just the cover pages. The rest of these are big old huge notebooks. Anyway, they're in the library. You can come and view whatever's in there. There's a thing called the Caldwell County Foundation. And they have an online survey about affordable housing. And I don't have enough copies for everyone, but anyway, you can, if you take a picture of this QR code with your phone, this will take you to the survey. And my phone doesn't do that. It's a dinosaur. But anyway, you can type in this website down here and anyway, pass these around.
This is making me dizzy.
It's very good.
I can see it.
Copy of that.
Usually about.
Again, Martindale needs affordable housing. And if y'all will, in the audience, yeah, take a picture of that and pass that around. That's all the copies I have. The library already had a relationship with the Caldwell County Foundation. We've received several grants from them. Okay, this coming Saturday, September 20th, Debbie Roblo will, she's from Staples, will read from her book, If a Chicken Could Shop. I've already mentioned this before. Then she'll lead a character building workshop for children. And this will be in the library from 11 to 1. Okay, then starting on Wednesday, October 29th, this is Wednesday mornings from 9 to 11. The library is hosting classes on chronic pain self-management. And if you have arthritis, migraine headaches, back pain, anyway, any kind of pain, we'll have a sign up in the library. We just got information on this, so we haven't really got everything nailed down, but it will be in 413 Main Street where we're having these classes. And this is Area Agency on Aging has had a balance class, had diabetes class, and where they have really good classes. And this is funded by a grant from St. Davis Foundation. Okay, then on Monday, November 3rd, the library will host the first ever State of the City address with the mayor. She'll speak about her goals for the city of Martindale, also some of her accomplishments that she's had so far. And we're really looking for that. We're also beginning to work on that. Also on Friday, December the 5th, that's downtown tree lighting. And anyway, he already left. Anyway, the fire department, I do have confirmation they will be driving through the city with Santa Claus through all the neighborhoods. And
Coming up already? Holy moly.
yeah, it's almost the end of September. Anyway, Chris did say that he has the fire department on standby to help us with that. Then Marsha Burney was supposed to speak here at City Council tonight. Anyway, she's worked with the library on the Texas State Translational Health Research Center. And we already have some programs we're going to do with them that support older adults, and also programs that support mental health in this community. And I've been watching the news lately. There's kinds of shootings and what have you, and the mental health is needed tremendously, not just locally, but nationwide.
Thank you. And next is Susan Schoen.
Good evening, everyone. I wanted to address the agenda item I think it's 7. No, that's not right. I'll tell you. What? There's no 7, no, 4.2. On the appointment of Greg Hudson, I think is how you say that. So I know that this particular council is taking a minute to get your bearings and be able to work together and, you know, let go of whatever hard feelings that you've had. I hope that we're getting to that point. I work with people every day that I can't stand, but the way that I deal with that is because I'm a criminal defense attorney and I work with prosecutors, and they have so much power and they can abuse it so badly that, you know, I do get crossways and I do, you know, shake and think things about them, but depending on what the situation is, the way that I get through that is I have to think about what's best for my client. And that sounds kind of obvious, but our CEO told us one time, our slogan is client first, client last, client always. So anytime an issue comes up, a problem, we're talking to someone about it, it's how does this benefit the client? Or in, you know, in what way, or does this benefit the client? If it doesn't, don't do it. And I'm just throwing that out there because I think that's an excellent way for this council to look at things. Regardless of whose idea it was, who opposed it in the past, who opposes it now, whatever the history is, keeping that in the forefront of your mind about how does this benefit the city or the residents, or does it benefit the city or the residents, is something that I think we would all appreciate everyone doing on the council. Leading into, I don't think we can afford not to get this guy in here. You've all seen his credentials. I'm not gonna go through that, but he's practically done everything that needs to happen. And the concern in this city among a lot of residents that I talk to and myself, I'm worried. I mean, I've heard people say for a long time, they're coming, you know, whoever it is. We don't want to be swallowed up by San Marcos. You know, we have our own identity here. We've got to move forward in getting some infrastructure plans. And, you know, I know that the roads plans being worked on, but there are other things that we don't even know really that we need to be working on. This is a person who's done those things, who's been there, who knows how to do it. I used to be in HR and I know that there are employment laws being broken in this office right now. So you could even look at it in a way that maybe he will save some money down the road. Maybe Diana gets trained more by Deanna, sorry. She's not here, but she's gonna check. Maybe Deanna gets some more training from him that she doesn't then have to call the lawyers for. He's not planning on staying a long time, but y'all, there's a very basic level of planning and organization and putting structures in place and processes in place that we just don't have. We can't jump into getting ready for developments to come in without some very basic processes in place. And I don't think we can afford not to hire him. I don't know what his salary should be or his hours. That's, you know, that's totally y'all's call, but please do what you can to get him here. Thank you.
Thank you. You should.
All right, and does anyone else want to make a comment before we move on? That's all of the written ones that we have. Anybody? Anybody? All right, moving on then to let's see, the presentation, St. David's Rural Impact Fund. Marcia Bernie was supposed to come today. She did let us know earlier this afternoon that she wouldn't be able to attend. She was going to talk about a new grant that would allow us to help plan for flood emergencies, like the actual, like when the flood is here and okay, what are we gonna do? Which would be wonderful. But it was due in 30 days and they ended up, because of our schedule with council and when we're meeting and needing to finish the budget and all of that, and the library and their commitments, I think they've decided to go with a different town for this particular project. So you won't see her rescheduled for that same thing, but in the future, if there is a different project, she may be back to make a presentation at that time for y'all. In terms of reports, the roof update, it's done, thank heavens. Phew. And also, just FYI, Mr. Fudge came by right after we finished our roof and said that Daniel Carl did pay him to put a rubber sealant across the library, roof. I know that y'all are, have been concerned, as have we, that it would, have a problem in between the buildings if he didn't do his at the same time. His process, or his materials and like what they did is entirely unrelated to anything that we did. They didn't do a traditional, like, take off the bad materials, put on a new roof. They just put like a roll of rubber across it that is supposed to seal it in where water can't get in. So either way, something was done to both roofs and ours is done, and oh my gosh, I almost forgot. Oh, I can't do it. I'll put it on the website. The roofing guys, they had a drone that they brought out, and they did a little Martindale video. It's so beautiful.
Oh.
They put it on the martindalenews.com website. So if, I don't know whether you are on Facebook, but if you are, and you go to the martindalenews.com website, they posted it there.
Oh.
And it's so cute. It flies around and then it shows everyone working on the roof, and it's very adorable because I've never even seen the roof. So that happened. After that, flood preparation and mitigation workshop takeaways, just a couple real quick, that we had a pretty decent turnout for that first meeting. And out of that, we have two different groups that we are trying to get volunteers for. One will do the immediate emergency, like when it happens. They will be the people, when we're doing the siren testing, that will go out to each neighborhood and listen for the sound of the siren and figure out where it can be heard, where it can't be heard, and report back to chief so that he has a consistent team working with him on that, and so that we all know really clearly where it can be heard and not heard. We're figuring we're gonna need to probably add at least one, if not two additional sirens in this coming year to 2 years, depending how long the Texas legislature takes to get things moving with their new grant monies that they're going to be making available. And also, we have a second team that will be looking at ongoing issues of mitigation, trying to make it better before it gets worse. So that when we do have a flood, we've got some of the key areas that people already know to look out for, kind of handled. For example, they'll go around and look at all of our culverts and figure out which ones need to be completely cleaned out because they're full of muck and stuff that the water won't be able to rush through them as it should. They will make sure, like on River Road, I know there's some areas where there's, I don't know, things are, the mud and the things, the road stuff is in the way, and so the roads are retaining water, and that's really bad for the water, for the roads. So they'll look at how we can do projects that will take care of that. They'll do a lot of riparian zone repairs. And look at some issues of erosion and kind of pinpoint for us where we need to be trying to get FEMA money to do repair to the erosion areas and things like that. So they'll be a self-directed, community-based team. They're not going to be anything to do with city council or a formal city committee. They're just a community-based team. And they can make recommendations to council if they want to, or to the river committee or the parks committee or whatever they see fit. So we will meet again in October. I think middle of October is about what we said, maybe the 22nd-ish, but we don't have an exact date, but around the 3rd week of October. To get back together, get some definite signups for who wants to be on which team. The immediate emergency team, they're gonna do some self-training through FEMA, called CERT training, Citizen Emergency Response Team. And I know there's one in Caldwell County, and all of the training, it takes place online. So if you know anybody that might be interested in either team, please let us know and look for the announcement of the follow-up meeting in October. Then the last thing is there is a I hate to call it a survey because people have such survey fatigue around here, but I'm calling it a form. There's a form on the very front of the website, the city website, that if people are interested in volunteering for anything, just fun. Like if you wanna get together, I don't care what you wanna do. If you wanna get together other people that are interested in bird watching, if you wanna start a family game night, if you wanna do, whatever. If you wanna help people do repairs on their homes, if they can't afford to like go out and hire all the right people, but they could afford maybe materials and stuff, and we want them to be able to not get in trouble over the ordinances and things, volunteer to organize people that will do barn raisings, you know? If you wanna do like a basketball game on Saturday afternoons, do that. So any way that you wanna get involved and have a little fun or do a little good, there is a place on that form to put it out there so that we can start matching people up with things that they wanna do, and let's have a little fun. Then, let's see, I thought there was one more thing. No, I guess that's all. Okay, so that's all for now. The city, the assistant city administrator slash city clerk is not here, but I will tell you that what ended up happening with the staff update is that we do have one new staff member, also named Deanna, and she's been training. She is smart as a whip. We love her. She's very friendly, very, very friendly. Come in, stop by, say hey to her if you haven't met her yet. And she lives in Luling, just right down the road, and she's wonderful. The other person that we tried to hire for the court clerk was perfect because she has worked in an online court situation, being a court clerk for the city of Ferris, but unfortunately, she turned us down because of the money. So she is gonna continue to do distance or remote work for Ferris because it's a better situation for her. So we are in the process of reposting the court clerk position. We'll get back to you when we get that done. Then, let's see, Parks and Recs Advisory Board has a recommendation for city council, and y'all had a read ahead cover page that I hope you read ahead on. But go ahead, Ramon, and let us hear it.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Ramon. And these pens are.
There, I don't know.
Not a good place for the pens.
Here, put them over here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Y'all have the read ahead cover page. The Parks Committee is making the recommendation to allow non-residents within a 2.5 mile radius of city limits to purchase a $50 annual parking pass for our parks. We did a survey. We had one of the biggest turnouts on that survey, I'm told, that we've had ever. Thank you.
Oh, one thing, it's not in the report. However, I did want to mention to everyone because Jared had asked the committee to make sure there was some sort of accountability for the validity of the survey and who had taken it and whatnot. There were only 4 surveys that either were unclear whether they were a duplicate or were a duplicate. So we omitted those. And then with the remaining 102 people that did complete the entire thing that were unique users, we ended up with a basically a 91% reliability rate, like a confidence rating in the results. So I think that the gold standard is 5% and we were at 9%. So it's a very solid survey. It was excellent. I was very impressed.
And it just goes to show the importance and, that the community places on our parks. We all know the river, the parks are a great asset to our community. So you have the recommendation in front of you. It supports strong community. The $50 price point that we put, we had actually come up with that probably almost about a year ago now, definitely over a couple months, and the survey supported that. Taking the 2 outliers, one was 0 and the other was, I think somebody recommended $2,000 for the annual pass. Taking those 2 outliers out, the average was $49.86, which is right in line with our $50 price point. The break even point is 22 passes sold, and that's used data from the Park Mobile from the last year. After the 22nd pass is sold, we will have broken even and continue to make money as well. And that does not include the individuals who may, you know, live a little further away and say, I'm just going to use the park once or twice a year and I'm still going to do the $10 parking. So there will still be revenue from Park Mobile as well as the $50 parking pass. This also provides equity for our residents. A lot of non-residents, you know, people outside of the city limits live closer than some of the people who do, and they deserve reasonable access as well. As far as the implementation, you know, the actual, you know, what do we have to do? We did come up with 2 solutions to determine the 2.5 mile radius. That we came off of was because the ETJ is hard to determine who's still in the ETJ, what addresses, that changes. But the ETJ was originally set up to basically cover that 2.5 mile radius. So one, the cheap, quick and easy way is Google Maps. Search Martindale, Texas, the city limits comes up and you can just draw a line from point to point and determine whether that's within that 2.5 miles or not. The other option, and it can also be run in tandem with it, is a map, and there is information on where to purchase that map and how much, and just the old map and string. If the internet goes down or we just don't want to use it, we do have that option as well. Javier's name is mentioned in this, and that I submitted this report before I'd heard the news. But we will need to change the codes, and that recommendation is in there as well, with whoever will be doing that going forward. So we just ask, the Parks Committee just asked that you approve the motion that was requested in there. If you have any changes to it, that'd be great as well. So.
Yes, I wanted to ask, so is it 2.5 miles from the center of the city going out, or is it 2.5 miles from every edge of the city limits?
It's my understanding that it's from the edge of city limits. And again, with that Google Maps, it draws that outline. So when you're drawing your line from point to point, you can literally take that line and put it to any point on that edge and determine over here is 3 miles, but over here is, you know, actually 2.4. I am within that 2.4 mile limit, or 2.5 mile limit.
And so that includes all of like Bella Vista and the Falls and.
Yes.
All of them are.
All of our close residents, yes.
Okay.
And the other thing I didn't mention, but I believe it is in the cover page, is that the survey showed that the further you live out from the parks, the less likely you are to use it. So that also, that 2.5 mile radius, it does go to show that those are most likely the people that are going to be using the parks. The people who live, you know, 3, 4, 5 miles out, they're going to use them less often. Any questions?
Curious how you determine the percentage of people that reply to this, or excuse me, I guess it's really Park Mobile. How do we know the people that are using Park Mobile are in the ETJ or not? How are we determining that? It's kind of
Based on how they identified in the survey, if they lived in the city or if they lived in the ETJ, people in the city did not receive questions about parking passes for the ETJ because we wanted to just focus attention on who lives in the ETJ and would they buy a permit if it was available to them as an ETJ person. Does that make sense?
We did ask them other questions in terms of what they would like to see in our parks. We got a lot of valuable information even from them as well.
And they did all say, interestingly, that they would be willing to pay more than that. Like they would be willing, even like everyone would be willing to pay higher amounts as we develop amenities. But that without the amenities, it's hard to pay more because you're basically just paying for a parking spot. But they said it would be worth it to them to contribute a higher amount as we build it into the system.
There was a phrase about prorating in that document.
It was saying that we would not prorate. So if you purchase on December 25th, you've
No,
got.
I'm talking about like for 1 hour.
Oh,
Oh.
okay, so that's
Oh,
separate.
that was confusing.
Yeah, so let me explain that real quick. What I said in the actual agenda, not in their sheet, that sheet is 100% them, was we might want to pursue this, but at the same time as this notion of, do you wanna have an hourly parking rate or not? Right now, the only thing in our budget is that standard flat rate. And that's what we need to go with, because we don't have time to like come up with a whole like parking idea right now. If we want to do that like next month and just maybe pilot at one park, the park that has the playground, because that's where people say they only wanna go for a short time because they have little tiny babies that don't wanna stay long.
Well,
Maybe we just do that there, but if we don't do any of it, it's okay. But rather than amend the same ordinance twice, like we change it now to be, oh, okay, ETJ can have a different price. Oh, and then we come back later and have a different issue and amend the same ordinance again. Maybe we table this and wait and do them all together. But that's up to the council, and however you wanna do it, I don't care, I'm just saying. That was what was in the agenda.
Unfortunately, Montgomery, myself, we installed the new sign.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, we got people that vandalize our parks. You know, and that, so we've lost income, what do you think, Montgomery? Was it 2 weekends, 3 weekends? We lost Labor Day, right?
Yeah, we lost Labor Day.
I mean, we're losing money. I mean, we're losing money, but it's
Yeah, I know where you're going with that, Mike, and I agree, and they've spent a lot of time, I know you've spent a lot of time focusing on this, and I know your family goes to the park, I met your wife there a couple of times, so. I understand it completely, and I also agree with you, the mayor, I think we want to create a more comprehensive plan, I would rather continue the discussion and eliminate some things, if we don't want to do it or do it, and do it once, this is well written.
It's very well done.
I have a few things that I would like to discuss further with the council on it, but generally speaking, obviously, it's well written. I'm not 100% against it, I'm not 100% for it. We were very hesitant at the beginning because we wanted to have a little cushion. Because no one really knows what the impact is, 100% what's gonna happen. If we start, selling, passes, how much revenue are we going to be potentially not making? So there is some uncertainty.
You haven't thought about that though.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thought was just that, I mean, based off of the past performance in that Parks Mobile app, it's showing what our usage is over the past rolling year. And that break even point, of course, we don't know, the break even point is 22, we might sell 10. And at that point, you're not gonna make the profit from there, but those people that are not purchasing the pass are most likely gonna still continue going and paying for the day.
are vandalizing our sign. That really upsets me.
Oh, no, that upsets me as well, but that talks towards the equity.
That's happened twice.
Of course, you're not gonna make everyone happy. Somebody might not wanna do a $50
One of the
permit.
best things we've ever done is make those parks. And for people to vandalize them and take advantage of our parks is very upsetting to me. And the people that do that, I don't want them in our town. I don't want them in our parks. If they're gonna vandalize our signs and I want, we think it's funny, Sam? Think it's funny, they vandalized, we lost revenue, you think it's funny?
I don't know how you're distinguishing between the
You think it's
people
what?
that you think vandalized the signs and didn't, and you're saying the people, and
So
so.
what I'm saying, some people, I don't say anybody, I'm just saying certain people, it's happened twice, right? And what I appreciate what the park advisory do, but we need something like grants, we need to fund, I got it, but I'm just saying. I'm still upset about that, and Montgomery and I, we did it twice, we're the ones that installed the new posts, they pulled our posts up, so we put concrete in. Then they vandalized.
That's irrelevant to this particular topic though.
I know, I understand it, but we've lost
What
one,
Ramon's done
Yeah.
is very well.
we've lost one.
That,
But he doesn't have anything to do
Well, I'm
with
just
it.
saying.
He didn't vandalize anything.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying that
It's right by home.
I started smart. And I started.
She's really nice.
And I'm very upset that people disrespect our parks.
yeah, we all are. But that talks towards the equity between the community members. If we're creating this divide, and of course,
How do we
that
create a
$50
divide?
pass.
How do we create a divide? I don't understand.
The divide being that people who live a half mile, take the falls, for instance.
Take them into our city limits. That's another thing I always say. If you wanna be part of, I don't wanna get in that.
Yeah.
subject. Also.
And we've had.
Can I borrow the camel?
All right.
Okay, so does anybody else have any discussion about this particular recommendation that the Parks Committee has brought to us tonight?
So it seems to me that, if we find out that this program, lowers revenue that we were getting from the parking pass, we could discontinue the program. There's no reason that we're not signing up for 5 years or 10 years.
It's a year, it'll be a year.
That's a good point, Mark.
Yeah, you can do it for a year and see.
If
That's a
it's
good point.
additive to the revenue we're getting and we get more money to support our parks and we can clean and hopefully have facilities that great, we would continue this. But it seems to me, at the very least, worth trying it out for a year to see if that increases the revenue that comes in.
Yes.
My,
I mean, this was this is before, state parks charge 70.
It started 70 per person.
Yeah.
It's 70 per person and 25 for each additional.
Yeah,
Their amenities are considerably different than ours.
Yeah,
I'm just going with the state parks,
Stan, but we need to think about Martindale in
I'm
specific.
thinking about Mark. I've always thought about Mark.
I'm not saying that you're not, I'm saying,
I'm discussing $70 based on state parks system.
but what you get for your $70 is not the
We
same.
get a beautiful river bottom that's pristine, because San Marcos charges they charge $25 a day.
Go to their parks and look around.
Mayor, can I please talk? So $25 a day. And then, so they charge, this whole place is getting inundated with people, and that's fine, it's a beautiful river, I'm just thinking, I think 70 would be more of more in tune with what the cost is. You go to New Braunfels, it's a lot more than that. This is a really good value. We got people coming from Houston, Kyle, Buda. I think it's great when families come. I love it, okay? But I think 70, maybe, I don't know if the council agrees, a $70 figure.
Well, Mike, if you read the through ahead, whatever, read it. It's 50 for 2 passes for the same resident. So if you wanted to be a stickler, you could say 50 per car. You know what I mean? So if you wanted to be a little more squeezing, that would be the way to squeeze. So just throwing that out there I'm just talking about that.
I mean,
This is trying to bridge the gap here.
Well, and I agree with the fact that our parks are very nice and there is the river. But I think it's true that there aren't the same types of amenities as what's in San Marcos and New Braunfels. But as we raise more money, we of course can improve the parks and then we can raise the price. So, and I think there's always gonna be people who are irritated about having to pay for parking. But we still have to charge them because that's the only way we're gonna make money to fix the parks and to improve the parks.
And we kept them, they're a lot cleaner, no offense to you, Sam, they're a lot cleaner now with the staff that we're paying, so we're spending $26,000 a year on that. And so Sam doesn't have to go go do the trash every, weekend himself, so. We did make the investment and the parks are much cleaner now. I don't have to do cleanup quite, like we still did Allen Bates, but last weekend or the weekend before, and it's still bad, but it's not like it used to be.
and I will say this, by doing park mobile, which is one of the best things we've ever done, it has kept the riffraff out. The people that come in and drink beer and throw beer bottles in the river, those people have gone.
Well,
And that's been a very good thing that's happened to these parks by having a park mobile. And I gotta say, San Marcos is going through hell right, because they're charging, per entry, and I mean, this whole area is booming, and we got a resource that everybody wants, and I don't blame, but like I say, I appreciate what you've done and broke it down, and I'd say majority of the people that use the park are good people.
Yeah.
And they take care of it, and they realize it. It just takes a few, and that's another whole nother issue. But Park Mobile has actually helped on that part. Like people that really want to use the parks, they're gonna pay.
Well, we see this pass as an extension of that, they're still paying, so they've still got some skin in the game. And it's, again, kept local within a 2.5 mile radius. We're not getting people from Kyle, we're not getting people from Austin with the
And the
pass.
way that it's written, right now, I don't know that, you're not gonna break even. I mean, you may not, I have no idea. I can't see the future, but you might break even because that's still gonna be about 5 visits for the summer. If you had to pay $10 a time, you may not be going with your whole family more than that anyhow.
Yeah.
So that's just a thought, but,
I think it's a good idea to try it for a year, and then if it really does lower the amount that we make, then we try something different. But maybe it will kind of help those people that live in the ETJ 2.5 miles away, that maybe that don't use our parks. Now they'll start using them. And like Laura said, that's 5 visits, because it's $50. It's still 5 times that somebody would visit the park and pay.
No, or like the little kids, moms wanna come for 20, 30 minutes or they're.
Yeah, or
They can do
they're
that.
coming and not paying because they're standing next to the, I know I've spoken to the lady many times, he's like,
Yeah, they're just.
I'm gonna take 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Just stand by their car.
Stay by your car.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
And if they get the pass, maybe they'll pay and then they'll go more often, but stay less time each time. I don't know.
One thing we may look at is on the cyclical sequences of the dates of the passes. Now you renew in June. I think we talked about this, possibly renewing the passes in December. It's
Or
easy to keep
January.
track of it with on that type of a yearly forum or whatever, as opposed to being in June, because a lot of times people don't think of changing or getting their other pass in June, but that's something we'll discuss later ourselves.
Yeah, I think it's January, the year will release a lot more services in the middle of the off season.
Yeah.
They buy it in May, they have it from May to the rest of the year, that's it. It's just like your fishing license, man. You
Right.
It is what it is for the year. Yeah, it's for that year. It's not a calendar year, but it's that year.
Alright, so what do? Do we motion, do we vote, do we talk about this later, what's the next? What's the next
it's
step?
up to y'all. If you want to make a motion, you can.
You need to open the item.
I'm opening the item. Okay. So what's next is I open the item, Maureen,
Right.
and then,
Yeah, it is.
So you're opening 4.3.
yes, I'm opening 4.3, and, if anyone is interested in making a motion, don't we do that? Do we do that right now?
Oh.
Yeah, if you wanna make a motion, you can make a motion. If you want to wait for it to be put, all together, you can make a motion to that effect and then have some direction about what other adjustments you want to be looked at. So it's really up to whatever it is that y'all feel is appropriate. The text will have to be actually fit into the ordinance and looked at a higher level, so it may come back. If anything just doesn't work, from a holistic perspective, for any like substantive changes anyway, so I would keep that in mind in your motion. But other than that, it's
So you
functionally entirely.
don't have any problem with this 2.5 mile radius requirement, that there's no
Legally
no
required.
legal issue there.
No, I haven't seen or thought of one right now. I mean, it's the ETJ, it's functionally like the ETJ receives.
Well, we're not even using that.
Right, but I mean, from the,
Yeah.
right, but from the function of like the ETJ, they receive some amount of services.
Yeah,
And so, that conceptually,
And to clarify, we're not gonna put that prorate hour deal on,
No, that's not a part of the motion.
just
I mean, part of this
just to
recommendation.
clarify.
Yeah. On the agenda itself, I think I fixed the wording, but I just saw that I didn't fix the proposed motion one here. That it's not the right process, here, but they were just trying to give you guys a starting place. I mean, obviously, they're not motion writers. They're just giving you an idea of wording that you could change to fit your own needs, however you want to.
I will motion that we allow non-residents within a 2.5 mile radius of city limits to purchase a $50 annual parking pass for Martindale Community Parks.
And, does anyone have any further discussion?
Did anybody second that?
Oh, no, nobody seconded it.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Terry.
alright. Good, we so we discuss now, right? Mayor?
Yes.
Okay, so the only caveat is I'd like to change 3C to 1 vehicle for $50.
Where do you see that?
Well, in the read ahead,
But you did point to me in. Gotcha.
so
I absolutely agree with that.
I do too. Good
You need to amend,
One, two.
someone needs to make a motion to amend, second, you vote on that, and then you vote on
okay,
the.
I make a motion to amend,
Do we have to vote it down first?
No,
no, we make a motion to, do section 73G 3C to change it from, up to 2 to a single vehicle per resident. Or per pass, excuse me, per pass.
I'll second that.
Then you discuss that motion, and then you vote on that motion, and then that determines what the final motion is.
Is there any other, changes that you guys are interested in? It's got the calendar year. Not prorated.
Yeah.
Do you think we ought to stick with the 50 or go to 70 or what do y'all?
Well, the thing is, we're gonna just do a single car instead of 2 cars.
Okay,
So,
And we've got survey data that says that 50 is the right.
that seems reasonable. Okay.
you said you wanted to do it. I'm concerned a little about the funds, but there's money in the account, so this becomes an issue. Oh,
We use the same sticker? Tactically, how do we do this? Is it the same sticker that the citizens are getting?
yeah.
Well, this says target implementation no later than March 1st, 2025.
No, 26.
So it'll be, target would be January 2026, so.
Then
It says it twice. It says 2025, March 1st,
But
2025.
it's based on whatever is in the motion.
Let's, like you said, we're gonna read, you guys are gonna clean it up one more time, and we're gonna have a final reading on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have to change Javier, we have to change this.
Yeah, but that's not, it won't be the written order.
Well, Javier can't do that. Like, if you actually read what that says, it says Javier's gonna amend it.
Right,
And he can't do that. Y'all can do that.
okay.
You have to vote on it. So
Yeah.
it has to get massaged. That's
Yeah.
just a starting point.
We will have one more vote,
Okay.
because it's gotta be properly written before it,
Yeah, and look at how
We'll
it
look
comes
at how
out,
the
and then you'll know
attorneys-
everything that's in it and not in it.
So we vote on.
The motion.
Matthew's,
Amendment,
Amendment.
correct.
So can we vote on that?
Okay,
Should we
we ready to
add-
vote?
Should we add,
We're voting on his amendment.
okay, should we add to the amendment? Well, the final vote will be done after the mod.
That's irrelevant of this motion, that's just a format, that's just a.
That's what happened.
Should be,
Process.
that's the process.
It's a process.
Anyway.
Okay, so, and all in favor of Matthew's amended motion to charge $50 for a single vehicle per pass for next season, for as a trial of 1 year?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, it passes.
And so now the vote is on the amended motion.
All right, do you wanna propose the amended motion?
Well, no, it's already
Already.
amended. The original motion has been amended by that vote, so now we're voting on the full one.
On the full one.
Yeah.
All right,
Like that vote was,
Oh.
do we accept his
yeah,
amendment?
we are, and I already moved
Yeah.
and seconded.
Yes, so now we agreed that he's allowed to amend it, so now do we like this idea? Are we in favor
Now
of the
you
idea?
call a vote on that.
Yes.
On my-
So now we are voting on the motion to,
The original
the
motion.
original motion as amended.
Aye.
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 Anyone against? All right, so it passes again.
I mean, those things, I should say.
Thank you very much, that was really.
Yes, that was a lot of
Very
work.
well, and I think this has got real potential. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you all here.
City Council, Mayor.
Yes, thank you.
I know who the first person gonna be buying one is.
Now we gotta get,
Take my picture with
hey,
it.
now we gotta get more Sam Martin's, I'm gonna pass Sam Martin's, work on that for us.
Okay, next is the going back up. The River Committee has withdrawn their recommendation, so we are going to skip that. They just did that yesterday after the River Advisory Board meeting. So next is the hot tax usage. In your packet, there is we're at 4.1.
Unless you're skipping.
I thought we were.
No, I am not.
We're at 2.5.
No, we're way up here. See, that's what I was wondering is can we vote then? Or do we have to vote
Jumped
later?
to 4-2.
Right, so, all right, so I go back, so I need to go back up to
Are we on 2-5?
where we left off.
2-5, yeah.
2-5.
We're on 2-5.
That's been one of my questions, I'll discuss with you later.
So it's
So-
okay for me.
Yes, update from Matthew McGovern on the water corp and fire hydrants, because I think this is probably your last
Yeah,
one.
we're done, yeah.
Yeah, we put it into the budget, it was in the draft budget, it's been isolated, we're gonna have its own little line item number so that people can see it in the budget. When they look through, they'll know that this was the money set aside specifically for the fire hydrants. And it's there in our draft budget, so yeah, I think you're done. Excellent, thank you, well done, lots of work on that one. Mike McLeod and Terry Werner, Texas Historic Commission, Northwest River Road, any updates?
I'll start kind of chronologically. So initially I reached out to Durst. I forget what his first name was.
Yeah.
Anyway, he retired. So, yeah, he retired. So I reached out to, I got kind of like an automatic email saying he no longer works there. He retired at the end of the month. And these are the people who, cover your county. So, but they didn't have any contact information for those people. But then I got another email from Brad Jones is his name, and he's an archaeologist with THC. So long story short, we're supposed to meet with him, or we can't meet with him on Monday because he's out of town, but he's willing to do like a Zoom call with us. And I'm probably gonna be at work, but Mike can go down to the actual cemetery where the project is gonna be done and marked off. And he would be able to see it on camera. So we can have, yeah, we can, he said he would be available on Monday from 10 to 2. So we'll work it out. Maybe I can take my lunch break then and we'll do like a FaceTime call or a Zoom call, whatever he is.
Yeah, thanks.
So, he also gave me another number to call, if we needed to do it like right now. But I felt like we had already explained everything to him and he was the one, that really, knew about the letter and all that. So I just thought, well, we can wait till Monday. That's not a big deal. And then he also was willing to come in person, but he said he couldn't do it until the 26th of this month. So we decided we'll just do both. We'll talk to him on the phone, Mike and I, and hopefully do, like a video call so he can actually see. And then if he can come out and actually meet with us, then that would be great.
Yeah,
So,
well,
and then Mike, you can tell them about what, you,
yeah, Gary
want to.
and I, the engineer, we put survey. So, all the survey points already put wooden stakes, we painted a line where the actual easement and the temporary construction easement will be. So you got the easement, and then 15 feet from that is a temporary construction easement, so it's all painted, lines are painted, drawn out.
Stay there, like it doesn't wash away or anything?
Well, it's just temporary, just paint on the
you
ground.
think we're gonna get any rain anytime soon?
But we got the stakes up, so they're painted, so it's all marked out. And you can see it with the map, it's all visual, you can see it.
Do you think anybody will destroy that?
Oh, don't say that.
I'm just wondering.
I don't think so, no, I don't see any reason why they would, I don't.
I hope not.
Oh, no.
No. But you know what? I was just, as I said that, I was thinking, take pictures, go out and take some good, decent photographs.
Okay, good, yeah, that's a good
I
idea.
think they will, but just in the off chance, just rain. or
Exactly, 'cause,
something, have good pictures,
Hate to say it,
yeah, just in case.
That's great update.
Yeah, that is a great update,
Good job.
but
Yes, I
hopefully,
hope it works out.
next week we can get him
yeah,
and, see it. I would personally like for him to do it in person, to see the actual site. And possibly have our engineer, he has more credibility than I do, I'm not an engineer, and they're actually show the process, the easement, and all that to explain, as he explained multiple times.
Well, you got the 26th too, right? So if he comes.
Yeah, so,
You can make all the progress you can by Zoom. You've also got him for the 26th and you can handle that then.
well, and even more people could probably come if they want to. I mean, let's not inundate.
No.
But I'm saying, like, if Mike and I are on the phone, then maybe if he has other questions that come up during that phone call, then Gary maybe could be there to meet him in person too and can answer engineering questions, I guess what I'm, because from what I understand, Gary talked about the easement, right?
Mhm.
So, and it's all marked, so if you had questions about the project and how it was gonna work, how the water was gonna flow and all that, then the engineer could be there.
Yeah.
And answer that question, so.
But,
Alright, cool.
but the, marking it all out with the stakes and the paint, you really see that easement.
Mhm.
Instead of sitting on a drawing, you actually see it on the site. So.
Thank you.
And he's the one that put the stakes, he's the one that marked it, so we found the,
Yeah.
found the survey, found the survey marks, we put a stake there.
There were no snakes out there?
No stake,
That's good.
always poison ivy.
Oh.
All right, Maury, roads master plan.
So we're working on, two major, estimates with Don Clark from the county. He's the person who runs the road construction.
He's the man.
Construction, yeah, he's awesome. The first one is to have a backup plan to the work of Mike and, Terry. So that when, the county is redoing, Northwest River Road from Highway 80 to Quail Run, and we've got the grant money from Quail Run to the Shoe Tree, that we have a, budget to extend that work all the way to Lockhart. So in the event that you all don't get that stuck, the city will have a bid at the same time in the summer
I feel
to
good.
be able to get the remainder of the road done. Yeah, we're the backup, right?
Got it.
But it just wouldn't make any sense at
Yeah,
all,
right.
in my mind, to have all the equipment, have all the material, have all of the people on North River Road, and then leave that relatively small section of Northwest River Road unaddressed. So we'll have to.
Could you do me a favor, when you talk to Donald next time, when he's doing that, if they could possibly belay maybe a little ditch, just a little area for that, when that water pulls, they'll put a crown, it'll go off that crown, and then maybe just a little slight grade so that water will go off the edge of that road.
I'll bring, the bid and present it to council as an update to our subcommittee. And we can look at the specifics of the bid, and then we can take in that comment if it's not addressed. And we can take other people's comments, and I can get the bid
And before I forget, gotta tell you, when we made a mistake, we did Lockhart Street. We didn't mark the manhole covers, make sure they marked the manhole covers, okay,
That's
just remember that one.
Okay, so we're doing that. The second thing is to, getting a bid from Don Clark to take over, street, repairs. So, as you know, we've had,
Butch.
minimal, yeah.
Always been a problem.
We've had minimal repair that's been going on, and a lot of times it's just a shovel, and then the depression is still there after a week of people running over it. There is actually a interagency agreement, that, we fell out with the county about 15 years ago, so the county stopped maintaining our roads. But we're gonna try to pick that back up. We're gonna try to see what that would cost for Don to do that. And then inventory the roads other than Northwest River Road for their current status, and then give a priority for repair work to be done on the rest of the roads of the town. So that's,
That sounds good.
then we get a budget, and we see how that applies to the 25,000 that we currently have allocated. Is there any other sources of money we could get if we want to accelerate it? But so that's where we are with that.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Be sure we do it before he retires. Because he's the best, he's good, he got a good career, yeah.
So,
So, hold on, share, am I doing that? Are we doing that? Okay, now we're doing it, share. That work? My screen. No, oh, look at me, oh my goodness, there's a little tiny me, oh, look.
Oh, look at that.
Finger mark. I don't know what's going on, but I got it.
Who is that?
What is
Well, now there's And now there's that is funny. I'll get you out there.
Where am I? That is so funny. All right, so,
Maybe when you talk, it.
I guess.
if you.
It does.
You are.
If you wouldn't mind pointing a finger at each action, item as they go through.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You can know where.
As long as I can say like 3.1.
All right, Sam Houston Clinton, could we please get an environmental ordinance update?
You. I'm sure you have copied already, sir.
Deanna's gonna have my head.
He is.
Paper cut and paste, guys, so you're looking at the ordinance. In this ordinance, if you look at the right side, the attorneys have looked at this draft, but I also have added some things. So if you turn to the second page,
Yes.
okay, 1.1, it says 1.1A, these standards of this chapter apply to the development, blah, 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 and are intended to apply with uniformity. I mean, do we really need to put are intended to? I mean, so that's just what I said. Also, the next one I wrote chapter ... question mark because of 101C, we don't know what that number is. I also feel in 101C that we should add the codes of the 26.177 and 179 maybe to this. Definitions 1.2.
So you mean add the actual code? Like,
Yes.
okay.
And then definitions, in this ordinance, the words responsible official has been mentioned several times. I don't really know what that means or if there is an actual staff in the city called responsible official, but I don't like that.
I'm pretty sure that's you. If you write it, you're the one who is responsible.
And it's official.
Sorry.
Also, in this document, they mentioned the word green streets. What does green streets mean? Grass line swales. I'd like to know what that is as opposed to a bioswale, which was also mentioned. So we need to define the difference between.
You have to spell them.
I've never even heard this.
Me too. It's in a lot of, the road and, sidewalk. Grant development, and if you start looking into, it's even in that hazard mitigation
A
research.
low or hollow place, especially a marshy depression between ridges.
Good definition. I also.
She just threw that off the top of her head.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah. I also mentioned riffraff in our document.
Oh, that's a rapper.
That, so let's define that. Let's also define floodplain administrator. We don't have one, but let's.
Yes, we do. You're a Veritas.
Okay.
However, Mr. Freeland is also a floodplain administrator,
Oh, good.
so.
Okay. Tree removal permit is mentioned, development permit, tree survey, scaled root protection zone. What's a scaled root protection zone? I don't know. Planning and engineering purposes is also mentioned. Let's define that. Okay, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna go on slightly more, but 103A, it mentions natural drainage patterns shall be preserved whenever possible. What do you mean preserved whenever
It
possible?
means that you'll make sure, like, for example, remember the guy that came to the meeting with us, with you and Mike and me and Amanda Padilla and Javier? And he was saying that, the new development of business across 80 was going to have, the retention pond in the front, even though we had initially asked him to have it in the back. And it was because the natural drainage pattern is that the water will run to that spot. So they were gonna just make that be the retention pond, that way the normal water pattern is that. And that's also why Turk and Freeland wanted the water to drain through the thing in the cemetery, the Little Creek, because that's normally where they were saying the water would run off of that road into that point, into that creek. And so they were saying, if you try to reassign it a new place to run off, it's still gonna wanna go where it wants to go naturally. So it was more money efficient to put it, to make it where it can still drain where it would normally drain.
Okay.
Learning things.
The word also in here in 103B, where is it? It's A, attenuate. prevent erosion and attenuate the impact of contaminants. Define attenuate. Most people don't know what that means, but I'd like to maybe put another word in that place. Also, I would want to define the difference between bioswales and grass on swales. In B, it says mitigate their impact, and I say filtration or riprap is a way to mitigate the impact of storm sewers.
1 second,
Quick second.
Maureen had a question.
I'm just wondering if this might be better handled as like a side meeting or something.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like you've
Yeah.
got some really important points that are gonna impact this.
Yes.
Just a minute.
Yes, sir.
But maybe there's a Zoom call or something where the attorney and the mayor are gonna hear all of these.
Yeah.
Good point.
And we can
Change it all up.
we can look at the next iteration of.
Once we get all those definitions,
Yeah.
filled in.
All your comments
Yeah.
back in.
Okay, since you have it and you have it in print form and you saw what I wrote, then instead of me going through each page, then if each council person and the mayor could add their recommendations and then give it back to me, then I'll just compile it all
That is
together.
fantastic.
So that's one.
Instead of going through.
Good idea, thank you.
Thank you.
That's a good one. There you go.
Okay, perfect. Then the next thing
Yeah.
is the consent agendas, so wastewater treatment, police and finance. Pete is not here, but his reports were included in the agenda packet. So if you do have questions about those reports that you I'm sure read beforehand, because they're consent ones. Don't forget that we had asked y'all to just go ahead and directly contact either Pete or the police or Dwayne to ask those questions prior to the meeting, so that we can vote on passing them or not passing them. If you do have questions that you need to have answered before you want to vote on passing them, we can pull that one out and not vote on it, and you can then get the answers addressed. But I did want to see if the chief wants to come and talk a little bit about what he submitted to us. I know at least Councilmember McGovern had some questions and wanted an in-person update, and then Dwayne, if you want to talk a little about yours too, just to give people the opportunity. So come on in, sir.
Hello?
See me.
What do I mean? We don't know why people are showing up on that.
That's when you talk.
Yeah.
Let's see, where are your reports? Hold on, I got it. I got them right here. Okay, what?
How many you want?
No, not you. I was like too far. I got them right here. Okay.
She needs to put on a suit.
All right, there. August 2025. Citations and warnings. Have at it, sir.
Yes, sir. I don't know what questions y'all have.
Are we safe, chief?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, thanks for coming, Chief.
Thank you.
I'll be here all week.
No, so it's pretty self-explanatory. We wrote 75 citations, 47 warnings during August. And then the other citations and warnings, I break it down into what they were, down in the second part. And in patrol activities, I break down basically the calls for service, and what all we do, city ordinance contacts, animal calls. We're bailiff. And it takes up a whole day of the officers' time. Officers' presence. Residence business checks, 11. Those are when people go out of town on vacation and so forth, and we watch over people's houses. Calls for service, 33. Incident reports, 2. Assist county and EMS is 12. Motorist assist and public contacts, I lump all those together for a bunch of, when we make contacts, change a tire, do whatever. We have 35 of those. Parks checks, we're still going through the parks and checking all those. And Skull Road, that's 79. That's just 79 different times we went there and checked it for things. Traffic hazard and traffic control, that could be something broken down in the road. We had to remove something from the road, just things like that. 14 times. Crash reports, we had 3, and offense reports, we had 4.
Your graphics are really pretty.
They are.
Thank you. I worked hard on that and drawing that circle perfectly.
If you, Chief, if you come up with any kind of plan on the, like, security or, as, you know, our signs being validated, you know, being analyzed and.
So I've recommended in the past that we put an entryway, excuse me, an entryway to the parks.
Okay.
That way we can put the signs up higher so no one could actually get to them as easy. They're gonna have to do something other than walk up to it.
Get a ladder.
Yeah, they'd have to get a ladder. I'm talking put them up high, and if they're that high on a ladder, maybe they'll fall and we'll find them there in the morning.
With a broken leg.
You know, maybe, or, you know, we'll find some kind of evidence of them being there. Right now, putting a camera system or anything like that down there, really isn't feasible to this point unless we bought a trailer with one of those, you see them at building construction sites and so forth, where they have little flashing lights on them and so forth. It sets off lights and all kind of stuff. But someone could steal those, but they're GPS tracked and so forth. But that would be a way to do it, but it gets costly.
Chief,
You know.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am. So,
This is going to sound really dumb, but you've heard other of my questions, so you're prepared. Why can't you do just like one of those, Ring doorbell things? Well, but not a doorbell, but like a camera.
so
How come you can't just do that kind of thing, maybe from that giant entryway? Does it have to be a different?
no, we can, but it goes back to the same problem we're having with everybody else. We have really poor service there. So you're gonna need a Wi-Fi transmitter, or you're gonna need something to make that work. It's gonna have to have Wi-Fi. So we can run some Cat5 cable or something like that down there and put our own booster. We can do some things like that, but that's what it would take, because you need for Wi-Fi cameras and or for Ring cameras, and there's other brands, so don't only stick to one brand. But if we put a camera like that there, which would work, but we would have to have some kind of Wi-Fi and power to it.
Okay. Oh, and power.
Yeah, because you can put batteries, but they're gonna go through them pretty quick.
Right.
Back to the, back,
A game camera.
So game cameras, I will just tell y'all, because Sam helped me out, put that on the internet.
Yeah.
So game cameras work to a degree. However, they're IR, they work off of infrared. And so if you put a game camera in a tree, you gotta put them where you're gonna be able to get to it, because you gotta go pull the SD card and so forth, because they don't transmit. So I'd have to get it to where we can transmit it, but then I can go down there with my cell phone with a little IR reader, and I can see exactly where it is, and I can take that and steal my game camera. So that sort of defeats the purpose. I have no way to track that.
so back to the elevated sign, does Park Mobile they don't have a larger sign, do they?
So I checked into that. We can't find a bigger barcode or QR code. But what we can do is use our sign shop to take one of the QR codes off of one of our signs and just post.
Mary Beth do it.
Yes, absolutely, just like this. And we can make one larger like a sign.
You can get the artwork from Park Mobile, they will send it to you.
And then all we have to do is call over and say, hey, we want a 2 foot by 2 foot sign, and we can put it up high. I've been,
At a metal,
yeah, just like a sign, just like a street sign, a stop sign.
So can I ask a question about putting it at high?
Yes.
So is it on really tall poles, or is there some way to, I guess there really wouldn't be any way to like drop it down, like.
So I asked somebody that, I actually got a drawing, a schematic. Let's don't call out the drawing artwork. Doesn't matter. So I got a schematic today, and someone quoted me a price to put one in like this right here. And it's basically just an arch. It goes up, and it's a square arc, or a square. That'll help us in a couple of different ways. And this is basically $1,000 to do this. And there.
Come on, y'all, we can build one of these.
So, what you need is the poles that go down in the ground to hold it really well so someone can't hit it. And then we want to prepare for the future, just in case we decide to put a gate. If the parks people decide we want to put a gate there, we'll have this.
Is that just, excuse me, sir, is that just for phase one, or is that just for phase one?
I just asked for the schematic for one, but And I'm sure you can do those at different parks, isn't it?
That part, I don't know about Skull, but it's not a park, but Allen Bates has a high sign, right, that says
Yeah.
Allen Bates Park, so maybe we can use what we have, yeah.
We had a problem at Allen Bates.
The first time we did this last incident, they did not, they just did phase one, correct. The thing with, putting that there, and if we build the gate properly, we can put some swing gates on it, like I was talking about for the flood areas. We can put those on there and prepare for the future, what it would need. It does no good right now just to have the gates on it because someone could just drive around the corner, drive around the end. We would have to put a pipe gate or pipe fence all the way around, down one side to the river and down the other side to the river. We'd have to cut across the middle of Sam's property to be able to cut that across there where his property is. So
Is this all pipe, drill stem pipe?
yeah, it's drill stem, it's drill stem pipe, of some sort.
Okay.
So,
It should hold up to a flood.
so what I was doing, I was preparing for that, and getting those quotes. Just like I did for the floodgates, just get those quotes and we can present them at some time before we finalize the budget and say, hey, is that what we want to do? Or we don't even have to use that, we don't even really have to present it because it's not taken out of the budget. We can get the parks money, and get the
Or
parks.
mobile money or.
Correct, absolutely.
Once y'all agree, council, that would be a good way to.
Use that money.
I think it's really good because it's, by doing that, we're gonna make sure that our signs don't get vandalized and we're getting income.
I agree.
There are revenues.
There is a actual budget for that account, so we would put it in the budget for that.
Awesome.
Yeah, especially.
Good idea.
So that's what I got.
So we'll just put that in, we'll just put it that.
How many times did you have to tell us that before we would actually do it?
No matter. But, yeah, it's, that's my suggestions for the way we move forward and try to protect that.
And one more point, I think we mentioned this before, about putting a sign up, if you don't have good cell phone coverage. Down, say phase one, if you can't get cell phone coverage, go up to, downtown to pay your park mobile.
We can put that on there. You can put it on the sign. Hey, go downtown for that. We can add another little
Let's
sign
do
to that.
You
But
agree with that?
however, if we put it right there at the entrance, everyone has service right there at the entrance. So if I take my phone and push it up there and take a picture of or try to log on to the QR code from right there, I'm already gonna have service.
Oh, good.
Cause it's right there at the road. It's at the
Oh, you're
road.
talking about at the entrance.
At the entrance of the road. Yeah, so going down to the park, going down to that bottoms is where everybody
Oh,
loses service.
that's a good point, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, the signal, if you're there, you stop right at the very beginning. The problem is we had a big sign there at the beginning and they destroyed it.
Correct.
And, I'm just getting tired. And then of course you saw that whole pole down. Someone took it out, it was all just a vinyl thing, so I couldn't put another corrugate sign up. Because it used to be a corrugate sign, that was a big QR code. But they still always would drive right by it, we still need to say, pay here.
Well, is there something, and maybe this is dumb, but is there something that they can paint over the sign so that it can't be
Yeah, we have,
like you
we have-
can clean off,
we
paint?
have the graffiti stuff, so we'll be putting that on the sign, Dorothy and I will, but they used to grind it.
Yeah, I was gonna say they could still grind it.
Well,
That's not even said. You get it up high.
They didn't mess around.
Yeah, they grinded the QR code off this time, but people were still paying. I will tell you, we talked to some people down there. People were still paying because there's a phone number, there's a email address. They didn't go through and knock on wood, they didn't destroy everything. So some people, said, hey, I'm coming here, I'm gonna pay. So some people did pay and we could probably look at those numbers and log into Park Mobile and
Just
say,
get that
hey,
sign up.
for the last 2 weeks, how many people did pay before we got signed back?
Okay. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, then Dwayne, do you wanna,
Yeah, just a few highlights. We ended the month of August with
how's this? Yeah?
$907,000 in cash. We had liabilities of $345,000, 246 of that is owed the state. And then I also wanted to say that we've collected 98% of our property taxes, so that is good. And year to date, we are $45,000 ahead. In other words, we've spent $45,000 less than the revenue. So we should end the year pretty much right on the money.
Oh, great.
That includes utility fund?
Community fund is at a loss of about 6,000, but so far this month it's running pretty well.
Good.
So we'll see. Maybe that will end up at a break even.
Question.
Yeah.
Question. Account 5510, the general fund, there was that is the accounting expense. It was projected to be at 16 and it appears that there was a,
5510 of the general fund?
I think it's in the general fund.
Yeah, that's the auditor.
Yeah, so it went up, it's now up to like what, 23?
I thought it was 16.
There's a payment from the prior auditor in there. The current auditor,
The budget was 16 and
that's what the current auditor's fee was. But the other auditor wasn't finished before
Oh,
the new fiscal year started.
so next year, we said it was 16 though.
we're good, so that's what, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we've already hired him, I think, for next year.
Yeah. I did.
But we're good with 16, 'cause I saw it go higher, I got a little, a red flag in my back.
No, I remember we talked about that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that one's good.
Yeah, that's about all I had.
Well, thank you. All right then. Yeah. Back up here to the agenda. I feel the pressure that Vanna White must feel. Okay, so new business, we've got 2 applications to consider for the Martindale Historic Preservation Commission. And at that point, we will have all spots on all committees filled, yay, because that's not easy. So both of those, the application is in your packet. Star Jennings is the first one, and then we have Quentin Matthews at the second one. And those are like the very last things in the packet. Star has been so patient because we have been trying to get him on the agenda for a while now, but it's been all crazy. So here's the application, July 21st. Let's see, and lots and lots and lots of photos of other projects that have been worked on. So probably one of our most
Yeah,
talented,
it looks very qualified.
right? One of our most talented
I agree.
people. Absolutely. I am thrilled with how exciting that is, because they can really do some amazing things. And we've got even pictures.
And his name is Star, how can you go wrong with that?
I know. So there's lots of photos and sketches and things. Does anyone have any questions, comments, thoughts, or concerns? No, I am putting forward, wait, don't say it. I am putting forward
The item.
I'm putting forward the item, because I already forgot that. It is, hold on, I'm putting forward item 4.1A. Does anyone have any comments, thoughts, or concerns?
There are 2 positions open when we have 2 applicants.
Yes, we do.
Situation, and
Yeah.
so there's 2 applicants for
Yeah.
2 positions.
Yeah.
Not 1, not 2 applicants.
Yeah, correct, that is correct, they were down 2 people. They only have a committee of 3 at the moment.
Who's on
Yeah.
that, who's on that? It's still Randy?
No, Randy took a leave of absence, so it is, Susan Schoen, Janie.
Is Marcy on?
I think Marcy's on, she's still on, Marcy Roy.
I thought her term expired. It didn't expire? I thought it was the end of her term. Cause you said last time you were gonna check with her and see if she would still.
Because they hadn't had a meeting in months and months and months, I don't really know, to be honest with you.
I'll have Deanna double check the math on that, cause she has it written down by year of when they were appointed to the committee. So I'll double check on that. I'm glad you brought that up. At this time, we have 2 positions and 2 people. And we did not count Marcy, cause I really thought her term had already run. But if it hasn't and she's still interested, clearly she's still on the committee. So yeah, we'll just have to,
Text her.
yeah, text her right now. No, I'm kidding. I'll have Deanna look at that on Monday and contact her and just confirm whether,
So one of those positions, it would be one of these, right? I mean, am I correct? I mean, if hers expired, if it's expired, her position's available.
yes, correct.
Marcy does not expire till May of 2026.
Boy,
Oh.
you're good.
She's good then.
Because it's places, the odd places go on the odd years and the even goes on the even years.
Well, there you go.
She's in place 2. Marty was in place 1, so that was vacant. Marcy, Randy left too. Yeah, but who else is on there? Who's on there?
Susan Schoen,
Yeah.
Janie, oh my gosh, right now I can't think of Janie's last name, I don't know why.
That's two.
And you know, she lives right down here on Johnson.
Jane Cardiff.
Cardiff,
Cardiff.
We voted for him.
yes,
So that's,
she was in the last batch.
In May, yeah.
Yeah.
that's 3. Oh,
Mary Fowler. So there's 3 people right now on it. And then Star Jennings and Quentin Matthews.
Well, Marcy
Marcy,
is still
And
on.
Marcy is still
Yeah,
on.
still on it, yeah.
So we only have one.
So we have 2 places and 1 person.
So
And
we,
I can already tell you, out of the 2 of them, I think Quentin would be happy to wait a year because he told me, I have been begging every meeting, please,
Yeah.
we need 1 more person. And last time I got a text from him after our meeting that said, okay, fine, I'll get back on it.
Just to verify, we got 1 position
Yeah.
available. Okay.
Yeah. As long as Marcy is continuing.
Yeah, so, yeah,
Okay,
no problem.
so do we make a motion?
Because Star Jennings is a native of Martinville.
okay. So, do you want to table, I hate to do this, but do you want to table it and let me check with Marcy and confirm she's still interested and
No,
then?
she's still there.
And then also check with Quentin and make sure he is interested, or was he trying to be helpful?
Well, hang on, so,
If we only have.
Marcy's term is unexpired.
Yeah, she's still on.
So there's no,
Yeah.
we don't need to check with Marcy.
Yeah, we got 1 position.
Marcy,
Okay.
we got 1 position, we got 2 people. It sounds
Randy's
like.
expired, I know, I see that, and Randy's expired in May.
And he chose not to
Yeah.
do it. He notified us he was not interested.
We should at least fill the 1 open position.
I agree.
Okay,
I agree.
I think so too.
okay. Then, that's what we'll do.
I will motion that, we filled, the open position on the historical commission with Star Jennings.
Second.
Okay.
All in favor?
I,
All opposed? All right, then the motion passes.
Sorry, but
All right, so.
I don't think we can.
Star Jennings, congratulations, thank you, sir. All right, now all the spots on all the committees are filled and yay. Next, discussion, consider the appointment of Greg Hudson as interim consultant city administrator to begin immediately, not really immediately, I forgot to edit that to be at the beginning of October. Because we need somebody that knows how to do solid city administration in that position. Now, last time we talked and we looked at the budget, there were concerns about salary, and I'm trying to pull up the budget. I have since spoken with him about this, and hold on, let me find the right one, the budget one to pull back up. I have spoken with him about all of this stuff, and we have a couple of options that are doable. One of them is that he can't full book budgets. I'm sorry, I can't click and talk. One of them is that he said that he is hold on, I'm getting errors. I'm doing too many things. He said he is willing to have a lower salary point. We had discussed doing. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, so we had discussed doing a $50. $50 per hour payroll amount and up to 28 hours a week, depending on, what was necessary. And then he said he would be willing to do 40 hours. I'm sorry, $40 per hour. And then my concern about that is when I was making all of the edits to the budget, to send out to y'all, my biggest concern was that, dear Dwayne, who is absolutely worth every penny that we pay him, is making $49 an hour.
I started at 42.
And so, with the amount of experience, and education that Mr. Hudson has, I gotta be honest, I felt really uncomfortable putting him $10 an hour less than Dwayne. Because I think they're pretty comparable in terms of their skills and abilities. So then I was like, well, I don't know that I feel okay about that, because he's in charge of the budget. As the administrator, I'm almost to the right page, I swear. So then I was like, that's almost, I don't know, I feel uncomfortable with having him be $10 an hour less than Dwayne, when they on paper are very, very similar. So then the other option would be to, what I did right now in the version of the budget that you have, is I had reduced his number of hours and gotten him down to like 80 instead of
95.
95.
Yeah.
And so that's an option. Another option would be to reduce the length of his contract within our fiscal year. And so rather than do a year, we could do like 6 months. And that would, I did it. So that would effectively reduce by half the amount of money that we are spending on him.
Well, then what happens in 6 months? Are we?
Then, well, what we've asked him to do would be to end his period here, whatever amount of time that is, by hiring, like helping us to hire his replacement that will be a permanent member of the city. So what we would do is, rather than do it within a year, we would do it within a 6-month period. So right now,
But the net effect on the budget per se would be
less, it would be half.
well, no, because we'd be hiring his replacement, so.
Yes, but when we hire his replacement, if we're not hiring somebody with 30 years experience, you don't need to pay him the same amount of money as you paid that guy.
What about, do we have to pay him benefits? I mean, is that negotiated?
I'm so glad that you brought that up, because we started to say something about that at the beginning of the meeting. And Dwayne had mentioned, Dwayne, do you wanna say what you were saying earlier?
The TML Health website, and it says that, I'm trying to find it again, basically that if a person works 20 hours a week, they qualify for benefits. And
Are those mandatory benefits, or do we qualify for?
yeah, maybe, y'all can help me split hairs on the semantics, but.
Well, I would
Basically, it says,
Hold on, let the attorney actually.
So there's a difference between being an in-house employee, which is presumably permanent. And being an independent contractor that is merely a consultant that you don't pay benefits to. And so that can also be a distinction, is that they're not brought in, as an employee. He's classified as an independent contractor, and the city doesn't worry about his taxes, and so it ends up being a little bit different, and so that's a way that you can accomplish, benefits through an
Kind of like
independent
you pay the
contractor.
lawyer.
Right.
You know, we did the same thing with Jared. Jared did not take benefits. He
Yeah.
already had a pension.
And he was an employee, he just didn't work 20 hours.
Yeah, but he also said he didn't take benefits. I don't know.
You never got to.
Well, if we define.
Wait, one at a time, cause I can't listen to everybody's thoughts at the same time. Nor can you.
If it is if he were successful, right, and it were a 6-month contract, it seems to me that also supports a contracting status, because it's just a short period of time to get systems and processes in and get his replacement in.
Well, and couldn't he be training Deanna?
Of course.
Well, the thing that I would like to see is if he is here as kind of a consultant, then we would stop paying the paralegals and the people that we're paying to help with the budget, the people we're paying to help with whatever, Deanna needs help with. So maybe it would save us money there. I don't know.
No.
Because how much money have we paid in the month of August for all of the services that we got from the law firm?
You know,
I mean, if you really, well, I mean, we can get an idea, but we would have to separate out what's for sitting in the meeting costs, and then what are the other people costs, you know what I mean, because that part wouldn't change, but the other stuff would all change.
So what about all the people that now work over 20 hours and don't have benefits?
Yeah, that
So,
needs to be addressed.
Does that mean
Because they
that
were-
now we have to across the board give everyone
If
benefits?
you pay somebody that, like Dwayne works 20 hours a week and he receives benefits, but he's an outlier, so are you supposed to do everyone the same?
If someone meets the criteria for receiving benefits, they should be receiving benefits.
What is the criteria?
I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. I don't.
Here's what the
track by
TNL book
the labor
says.
attorney.
The date you become an actively at-work employee working at least 20 hours per week.
Then you should earn benefits. So that would mean, let's look at our hours here.
so
Go ahead.
under 20 hours,
Say all those 16 people,
under 20 hours, you wouldn't have to pay benefits, correct? Under 20.
right?
Yes,
Yeah. When let's just,
oh, read the whole thing, read the whole passage besides just that little section.
Yeah, this says, new hire enrollment is the section. To receive coverage, new hires and newly eligible employees and their dependents must enroll in the plan in a timely manner. We must receive enrollment within 31 days of the date of hire or the coverage effective date, whichever is later, regardless of the orientation period. If you are not enrolled in a timely manner, you and your dependents cannot be added to the plan until the next open enrollment period. And so that's kind of how I always define it. It's like this plan, it starts in January.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like this budget time is when y'all determine whether or not people should be offered it at the next open enrollment.
Mm-hmm.
But if they go up over 20 hours
Mm-hmm.
along the way, I think they still qualify. But anyway, then it goes on, upon timely enrollment, coverage will begin the latter of the date you become an actively at-work employee working at least 20 hours per week, or the date you complete any waiting period established by your employer. So like if it's the first of the month after 60 days or something like that. And they make me sign something for you that we are
Complying,
complying. So.
okay.
So what I just got is that the number of hours in which they are eligible to be on benefits? Because what I just got is, it says in Texas, the number of hours to require health benefits is determined by the Federal Affordable Care Act, which mandates that applicable employers offer coverage to employees who average at least 30 hours.
That is the state or the law, but this is a contract. The contract here states a different number of hours. We don't have to get benefits from TML. We could go out to United Health.
Oh, he's saying TML requires that, but the federal law is 30 hours. So we get our benefits from
Yeah, no,
TML.
that's always been my rule, is 30.
Yeah, that's generally the truth, but this one that we have with TML is 20.
Is 20.
And it's the same with TMRS retirement. It's 20.
So how are we just now finding this out after we've been paying people? And not giving them.
I've known it all along, that at 20 hours, and that's why we always had people at 16, like you see.
Mm-hmm,
But then over the last year, we've had so much turnover,
mm-hmm.
and people have been working more hours. It's just, now that it's open enrollment, it's time to deal with it. Are we gonna keep them working that many hours and offer them benefits, or are we gonna adjust this?
Well, how much do those benefits cost?
Right here.
It's up there, $12,000 a year.
Yeah,
That's just health, then there's dental and vision's another 1,000.
but so I'm saying in total, how many employees do we have that work at
So-
least 20 hours?
Look at,
Okay,
so you've got the administrator, Dwayne, and then Deanna will be because she's taken over, and then, the two cops.
so altogether, that's 67 right now.
But in reality now, we've got this lady back here working more hours because we're down a court clerk.
But when, as soon as we hire her new
And
person,
that's the
but,
discussion here, as soon as we hire, but we haven't,
yeah,
so.
yeah,
Yeah.
cause she's been working those hours for a long time now.
So like when Adrian was set at, Deanna's desk, he had benefits.
Yeah,
It's like y'all elevated her up to his level now, so she really needs to get them.
mhm,
Well, I think we've already established that we don't, that's a given.
But these, if you have two people up back here, you don't have to, and if you have two people at the front desk like we have again, you don't have to.
Yeah,
So how much does it increase if we pay Deanna benefits?
this amount.
Is there anybody else that we would have to pay benefits to?
The two policemen?
Well, the two police,
They're already
They
included.
already-
Oh, they're
Yeah.
already in front.
but it's Deanna and,
Everybody's right here. So Deanna, Dwayne, we would increase by one person,
who's that?
except unless we're gonna do Mary Alice.
Mary Alice is working a lot of hours.
She is, but I've told her that she needs to stop. I told her she needs to be done at 5 and go home, but
But even then, she only needs to be working 2 days until.
I know, but tell that to the judge, because his concern is getting everything processed to be able to give it to the debt collectors that will go out and get us.
I understand, but we need to give her benefits if we're gonna let him declare, her supervisor, that she's gonna work, the hours.
Mm-hmm.
so we have basically to the end of the month to iron this out of our budget, because the new year starts October 1, correct?
Yeah,
It does.
So I'm sorry, I'm still not processing this, and, could somebody just explain to me very simply why we have this 20-hour limit and then
Yes.
somebody is 30, why is there?
I agree with you.
because
You want the answer to?
because we get our insurance benefits through TML. And
Do we have to?
TML has a rule that if you get your benefits through them, you need to provide them to anyone working more than 20 hours a week.
So let's
Change the insurance company.
It's a rule of TML.
Of our insurance.
Just like some employers say you have to have 34 hours.
Right, or
I
32.
totally get you. Okay, now I understand.
Yeah.
So this isn't a.
Not a federal rule, it's nothing.
This is the.
Federal rule is
Our
roughly-
insurance.
So the federal rule is roughly, you start breaking 32, then
So it sounds like it's a contract with TML. They agree to provide benefits to employees if they work 20 hours a week.
Is that correct?
It's a little different. You said if they work and they.
Up
they
to.
will provide them.
Up
They
to,
mandate at 20 hours or more, you must.
right.
provide them. If-
But what I'm saying is, you could be allowed to work 20, but what if you don't? And then what if one week you work 20 and then the next week you work, so I think immediately when you work 20 hours, they're saying you have to then get benefits, regardless of it. Yeah.
So there's 2 tiers of the benefits. The one is the health, dental, life, and then the other one is the TMRS. So the TMRS requires the
is 20 hours.
20 hours, and that's 6%, by the way, that's 5.96%. That one we cannot, we don't have a choice, we're a municipality, we have to, we basically are.
No, you don't have to offer that.
Well, we've been offering it to you to, you know, we have been offering that.
Yeah.
You know, so we.
But I can write TML Health and ask them, why do y'all require 20 hours?
It doesn't matter why, they just do. So we either wanna go with them or find a different insurer, but I don't think at this point in time, when our budget is due at the end of this month, we have time to go with a new insurer. We could research that and pick somebody for next year.
Well, you can get another insurance carrier even.
Then we can do that.
3 minutes.
We can do that, but that takes a lot of work.
So
a
it's,
lot of research.
well, it's 20, it's $12,500 a year.
The spreadsheet
Yeah.
there you have there doesn't include, Deanna having the.
No, that's.
I just cut and pasted it in there, so it does.
What I meant is didn't include the TRM.
No, it did not
It's
include that one.
1,000, so it's $1,000 a month, it's a little over $1,000 a month.
It's about 1,200.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 1,200 flat.
It is $1,200, it's this number right here, $12,910.
That's just the insurance.
Mhm.
Then there's also the 6% for the TMRS.
Yeah,
That's the,
That's a separate column, but yeah, that is correct.
So this cell right here.
Yep, absolutely.
Got
I
it. You're on
understand.
it, you're on it, you're on it.
I have spent so much time with this thing, I know exactly where everything is.
You're dreaming about it at night.
It is a good way to retain long-term.
It is the only way. Any one of us could get in a car accident. There are many health issues. You could be diagnosed with some form of god-awful cancer, and you don't know when that's gonna happen. And they are gonna go to a job, especially someone with a master's degree, is gonna go to a job that gives them benefits.
Well, I would think she's probably gonna wanna make more money at some point when she graduates too, so she might go to another job anyway.
Well, I did speak with Greg today. I had a great conversation with him for over an hour. It was good. He did bring up that he had an LLC. I did engage the conversation whether he wanted to be paid salary or other, and obviously he would prefer on the salary, but he was open to it. You know, obviously I was blunt with him. I said, as far as I'm concerned, it's all about the budget. And so we have to solidify the budget in the next, week or so here, and that determines the path. The path is created from that, and he's obviously very qualified. He's a nice man. He's been doing this, living remotely for 9 years. His wife lives in Arlington and he lives in Gilmer during the week, so.
So was he open to having no benefits, or are benefits a deal breaker?
No, it didn't appear to be a deal breaker. It would be preferred, obviously.
But does he have any other benefits, like could he opt out and, so that wasn't the question.
I didn't get into, as a rule of thumb, you gotta be careful.
Yeah,
You really can't ask that.
Yeah, I know. You didn't know, but he offered the information.
I'm sorry.
Anyone can get it on the health.
Yeah.
And but he did create an LLC his thought process originally was to be what Jared is doing, he's being a consultant on the side, and he said, I got an LLC, I bought a new car, it's in the LLC, if I travel, it's all written off.
So he's
doing the right thing.
Something we're go, he'd be willing to go contract with no benefits.
We don't know that.
That is the negotiation that,
Between.
but I did broach the subject with him. And I know he said you had had that discussion already, so I know you're already ahead of me on that, but I didn't know that. And he said, no, I'd already spoken to the mayor about it, and I would like to work with you guys. He's very interested. And I was blunt with him. We just have to solidify the budget. And once we have to solidify the budget, that creates the pathway for, everything else. So.
I think you got it exactly right.
And I just don't think we're actually gonna finish it tonight per se, but I think we're close, I think.
We have gotta be close because it's due soon, and because this office will grind to a halt if we don't get actual real people in here that know how to do this stuff. We are working our fingers to the bone,
Yeah.
we're working
I think this budget.
an ungodly number of hours.
yeah, we, you know, I
It's
almost,
by the 30th. Our final meeting to reject or accept the budget is on the 29th, so mark that date on your calendar.
so we will have a meeting on the 29th. And then are we gonna need to have another meeting or are we just gonna pass this on via digitally emailing?
You can't vote on anything if it's digital, but I'm more than happy to go back through it tonight and then be able to make any additional changes and whatnot and send them back out to you. But the only time we can make actual
Yeah, of course,
actions
of course, of course, of
would be in
course,
a
yeah.
meeting. So I guess it's up to everybody what they feel comfortable with.
And those meetings have to be announced 7 days out now, but
Yeah, the meeting on the 29th has already been put into the paper, into the newspaper. But if we wanna try and do another meeting aside from a council meeting.
What about that appraisal district meeting on the 22nd? Are we still doing that? That had to be done?
The special meeting, yeah, that one has to be done, yeah. Yeah, that's because the the county had a surplus. And rather than refund it back to all of the cities, they wanna keep it in their slush fund. And so we are making a resolution that we'll send to them that says we would prefer you just send it back to us.
or reduce our allocation of their budget.
Yeah,
Okay, so at this point, can I suggest we move on from 4.2 and go to the budget for Mr. Gray?
yeah,
Is that all right? And then 4.3 we've already done, right? That's the parks.
hold on, let me get back to that. So, yeah, 4.3 is no longer a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, no, 4.3 we did out
We
of
did.
order, so that's done.
Was actually going to.
We were, yeah, well, 4.2, yes. Can we table it to the end of the meeting and then come back after we do the budget and see if we're,
Of course.
we wanna make a motion at that point?
Yeah, just go out of order, Mary.
Okay, and then, we also, in the interest of time, may wanna hold off on 4.5 with the hot tax. So then we would be up to 4.6, the budget revisions. Oh, so since that will take a while, let's do 4.7, if we're allowed to go out of order. Can we please discuss appointing, Mayor Pro Tem Matthew McGovern as liaison to the cloud permit software project? Because we really need to get that thing launched. It's been over a year that it's been in development, and a lot of that is because
Yeah.
if you.
Okay, I'll make a motion to appoint council member council member, Mayor Pro Tem Matthew McGovern as liaison to cloud permit software project to get us through launch by October 15th.
Second.
Discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, you're in. Matthew, just a note, what they need most is someone that's gonna stay on them.
Yeah, I
You
Already
did that.
figured that out.
I kind of figured that out.
Yeah, they dropped.
I had spoken
it.
to Javi about that before and yeah, he gave me the skinny on that.
It is just
Yeah.
insufferable. Okay, so then let's go back to budget revisions now, and then we'll see about that final one. All right, so in terms of the budget revisions, I sent out, here it is, the budget full summary. Earlier. Here. I can't find my mouse. So, I sent out to y'all earlier this week a new spreadsheet with the changes that we had made because the other one was so out of control that I was spending hours just trying to figure out which item needed to be updated in order to make the pivot table update, because you can't change things in the pivot table. Okay, so budget full summary. But I don't wanna read only. Budget full summary. All right, fine, whatever, let's just do that one. Oh, Jared. Oh, no, now it's little. How did I make it? Okay, there. No. Why won't it stay big?
It's just messing with you, it looks like.
It's showing you the chat on the bottom, it's not, that's gotta be minimized. Yeah. So if it let you.
I've been trying to get that thing off the screen since we started. How come a minute ago it was there?
Maybe pull down that top line. Pull down,
Say it, getting us all down and operate this sucker.
there, try to pull that.
I did, it don't help.
Why, you know,
There they are.
those. That's what it is,
And you didn't get your hand
I didn't get my hand up.
up. Poor man.
See, it goes,
You really don't understand.
I am in so much trouble with Deanna. She is not gonna be happy with this. Okay, can I do that? Share, optimize for video, spotlight, layout and share, pop out. And make big. Alright, well, that's better. It's better.
And we can see your little face as you're talking.
Oh, no, not that. Alright, well, I'm sharing and here it is. Can we even read it? Oh, does that mean if I do this? Where's the mouse? Okay, if I do this, will it make it bigger? There. Okay, that helps. Okay, so looking at this, Matthew, I was gonna ask you to help me with these. Changing the money over from the utilities fund to the park fund. I did attempt that, but I wasn't sure if I did it right.
I didn't have a chance to go through that, because we
Okay.
got it at once undecided. The only thing that I will say that I went through this was, I don't see the fire hydrants.
The what?
The fire
Fire
hydrants.
hydrants.
Oh, because I need him to make a number for it. But I thought I had it in here as just a thing, like as a, it's gonna be, I think we decided it was gonna be under infrastructure.
It's under 6,100-ish number.
But you gotta get in the utility fund, no?
Well, we're gonna do the utility, one second, we're just gonna put this 20 grand in,
So it's under,
6,100. So that was their
Capital
capital
outlay.
outlays,
okay,
so why don't you just use
improvements?
improvements for now?
Yeah, okay, fine.
That makes sense,
Yeah,
that's what I did on mine, I just put it on
that's fine. And it's 20,
20.
alright.
And then what about the money we were gonna move to the,
Did you notice?
we already did that, right? The restricted park fund?
Yeah, that money I did attempt to do, under parks.
You were trying to remove the cost of the
Utilities
utilities
and
the, okay, so here it is, it's, it's account 5320 in the parks. Is roughly $3,500. Won't be in the budget under parks doing, and you have it at 0 in the new updated one.
no, I don't, why would I do that? I tried so hard. Okay, expenses by fund. No,
Because it's now needs to go under, instead of general ops, it's gotta go under special revenue. And I don't know if you created a tab for revenue by
fund?
by that particular fund, like you did for utilities. I made one. I know, wait, did I? Oh shoot, is this the right one?
Yeah, it's revenue by fund type.
Yeah, because this one you sent, I created my own tab, I figured out your,
Development.
I figured out your pivot table layout, so I was able to make.
Okay, parks restricted, see, that's good. I wholeheartedly believe that anyone should be able to pick up a spreadsheet and figure it out and put it in. And if you can't,
Oh,
there's a
you're right.
problem.
Okay, subside, is that, that's where it's at, okay, I couldn't find it, all right, I got you.
So park restricted is right here. And so no, it's not in the right place then. I must have put it in parks, regular parks, because it would go
That's the
here,
revenue,
right?
that's revenue, you do expense, you're only in revenue for that table, for that tab was revenue by fund subtype, you need expense by subtype. I don't know if you made one of those.
Maybe I didn't do expense by subtype. Okay, so then if I'm in my revenue thing and I go to. La 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 la.
But if you could just do expenses, you could also put it in there, I mean, there's other way to do it. You know, in the raw data.
Yes, yes,
Right.
expenses.
I don't know.
I don't think so, because
So
I think I think parks restricted only shows up under revenue. Oh, there, parks restricted, I lied to you. Here we go. Okay, so under this, that's park restricted expenses right now. And we've got maintenance and repairs, equipment expense and supplies. So we would need to add in what? We would need to add in 50, you said 5,100?
It's, no, shoot, that was just it. And what's that, I'll get it. Here we go, general revenue. Okay, so it's, so we have utilities, account 5,900.
Okay,
It'll be, account 5,900, it'll be, looks like. What the heck? How did we get to those numbers? It said we spent $2,000, but I don't have any.
it was gonna be 7,000 altogether because it's $2,000 for the 5,900 account, and then it was $5,000 for the 5,100, 5,300 account. Yeah. That's correct.
5,300, something like that.
Yep,
It's 5,000, it's not 7, it's 5. It's, yeah,
it was 7 total.
was it?
Mm-hmm,
You're probably right.
yeah,
3,500 was 5,320. That is, and actually it's probably gonna be more than, no, 5,300. Excuse me, 3,500 on account 5,320, that is the waste, the porta potties.
yes, it was under heavy machinery or heavy equipment.
Yeah. And then.
All right, so
Utilities,
5,320.
and then account 5,900, the utilities is projected to be 2,100.
So the 2026 budget.
I'm gonna get up to.
All right, right. So, what did you just tell me? Tell me again. Someone, anyone.
We're adding
5,900
5,900.
is $2,000.
Yeah, okay,
Right, and then the porta potties,
so the porta potties we already did, it was heavy equipment.
right, but what was it? But how much was it?
3,500.
3,500. And then isn't there one more?
I don't.
I-
Does that ring a bell? I mean, with the porta potties, and we had the
Isn't there electricity?
utilities where the electric and the water were the only things we're paying out of the general fund.
Yeah, porta potties, utilities and water, and every once in a while, if he goes by new trash cans or things like that.
So water is not on there then.
Utilities, yeah, utilities.
5,320 is utilities?
Yes.
I think there's separate line items for water and electric.
No, you
I
go
think
to 5,900.
Okay, utilities is 5,900, but then there is separate items. Stop. So then there is separate items for water and electricity. And I think that's where the other 2,000 is, roughly 2,000.
Yeah, that'll work.
That makes it 7,000.
Okay, so, I just don't see it on the previous work, well, I'm not in that one, I mean, the one you just sent me, so I gotta keep that in mind.
And let me just get this one done.
So
Wait,
5910 is electric and gas. Electric, water. Yeah, water, and then water sewer. No, it's just electric. Water sewer is 5940.
40, okay, 5940.
And I think the thing is I try to shorten these reports when I send them out and I collapse some of the line items and I ended up causing Jared to not know what the real line items
Yeah,
were.
no, I get it, you know.
Because it's like he only has it budgeted on one line item, so I'm like, well, I'm gonna give the detail on one line item.
Right. Oops.
There's,
All right, I can go back and fix these, but I just wanted to make sure that we had them all in the right place. I'll fix the titles of them. All right, then, I think we're good. So then those just actually have to get moved. Electricity. Heavy equipment. Okay. Okay,
What about things about signs and all that stuff? I mean, where does all the general expenses for the parks? It comes out at Park Mobile, but when you're buying signs.
well, in theory, we have extra money in the 7 to cover this other stuff. We rounded up on that. The actual cost as we expected it, remember when Jared was doing this as end of June, the numbers that we were going on was basically at 5,300. And I think that's what we basically rounded up, assuming, what it's going to be at the end of the year. And so I'm stuck with, when I'm talking to you, Mary, I was stuck on what I actually see in the spreadsheet without the, what is it really gonna be, we don't know. Okay. So.
okay. So then we can do that. All right, so then, going back. To,
You need that for your pivot table, you need to fill in the columns on the left. Or they won't populate.
don't do that. You don't. All right. That one was water.
Yeah, right.
But how come? Oh, I know why. I'm so dumb. Okay, I know why. We've got it. We've got it, ladies and gentlemen. So the electricity, we don't know how much of it was separate from the water, but we do know there's 2 separate numbers because they got rolled up.
I can tell you if you really want to know.
Of course.
And then this was, and then the heavy machinery was 3,500. So that goes there. That was my $9,000 contribution. Okay, 3,500. I wanted to make sure the number was right, even if I didn't know the subcategories.
Yeah, that's the most, of course, that's the most important for the.
All right, so we got 3,500.
I can tell you,
Yes,
11 months, we've spent $385 on electricity
okay.
and $1,551 in water.
385 and then what, 1,000 what on water?
552.
1,552 for water. All right. And heavy equipment was the 3,500 for the trash, for the porta potties.
And,
So then,
that's just 11 months, so you'd need to divide by 11 times 12.
all right,
So that's closer to, yeah, that's closer to 4 by the time we're done. And we expect that to go up next year.
This water seems to go up every year.
Water went up, how many meters we have? Two. Allen Basin.
Guardiola.
Yeah, so that's gonna go up, 10%.
8250.
Yeah, so it went up 10% effective October 1. So just having the meter is gonna be. And then how many, we have electricity only at Allen Base?
yeah, I think that's
I
right.
think that's just
Yes.
one.
Yeah, I showed you, the spreadsheet we had before, yeah, utilities was projected to be somewhere around 2,000, 2,100 was the total. And you're saying it's gonna be less than that. Still think that's a good number, 2,000 is a good number.
Wait, what is that, wait, what did you just say
The
that again?
utilities,
Uh-huh.
the park is, the number is $2,000.
We spent $156 in August on water.
Just in August.
156, yeah, because it's 75 plus 2 and then $6 of actual water. So it's, yeah, so we're doing 8,250 times 2 times 12. Yeah, that's $2,000 just out of the meters. So it's gotta be higher than that. So $2,000 and then what's the electric bill on that?
385, I think he said.
No, that's for the year, but the meter on that is cheap. Blue Bonnet meter is cheap. Cause I've got one in the barn, it's nothing. It's
385.
like $30, 20, it's not a lot.
Well, the lights come on each night there anyway, at the entrance.
Parks is $34.61 a month.
Yeah. So it's not very much, we're basically, yeah, at $2,500 in utilities.
Okay, so in terms of,
5,900 should we, what do you have as for 5,900 done for the parks?
well,
Not there, but
in the restricted or in the regular?
in the restricted.
In
We're
the,
gonna take it out of there. In the local government, we're taking it out of there. We're taking, because they won't be in next year's. So the 385, the 1,500 and the 3,500 are gonna go away. Because we're gonna pay it out of the special fund.
but that's the park restricted fund.
Yeah, but in the park restricted fund, that's the numbers we're giving you right now.
Right, that's what I just put in there.
Yeah, yeah.
So then,
In the general fund, under parks, we need to delete that from the budget going
I
forward.
think I did, but let's just make sure, 'cause I don't wanna be wrong. Okay, here's parks. So 5,900. Utilities is. No, that's okay. That's it. All right, so we've got. For this year, yeah, I took it all out, so it's all on zero.
Okay, good, awesome. Okay,
All right, so then.
that's what you're doing right now. Yeah, that's what we're doing. That's exactly what we just did. Yeah, no, that was, yeah, no, that's exactly what happened. Yeah, and they removed it already from the general fund, because that's the crazy part about, doing that stuff. You put the fire in.
I don't usually guys show up. Whenever you talk, my face goes up.
Maybe there's a lag.
They're recognizing your roles with mindfulness.
So, then. If we go through this. By department. If we start in the city administration and finance. The that, 158 is the revised number for, keeping in the, administrator at $50 an hour, but at 25 hours a week. And then Dwayne being 20 hours a week at $49. And that can be changed to whatever we want to. I'm just saying that's what's in that number right now. Then, that's the actual salaries that are covered by TRMS under that configuration. Insurance benefits for 2 people, TMRS investment, Medicare, Social Security. Dwayne, I do need your help with, I don't know if you recall, Jared left all of the unemployment amount uncalculated, so I need to check with you on how to calculate that so that I can get it populated correctly, because he left a note that says it's like 6% of the first 9,000. Then I was like, do you count anything after that, or?
It's 0.7% of the first 9,000.
And you don't do anything for what comes after the first 9,000?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
So can I say something?
So it's just, oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, do you, if that's how you do it, 0.7 for the first 9,000, then it's always gonna be the same denominator.
$63.
It would always be,
$63.
Yeah, so you just put $63 on everybody.
okay,
Okay, now I was just gonna see, and I don't know if this is exactly the right moment to say this, but I was reading about the insurance coverage from TML. And it says, for insurance offered through the TML, eligibility for employees working over 20 hours per week depends on the specific plan chosen by the individual municipality. While state law requires that full-time employees, typically 30+ hours, be offered, it is provided to any employees. Texas law also allows for, so it allows for it, but then it says it's optional. Texas law permits, but does not require employers to offer group health coverage to part-time employees who work at least 20 hours per week. It says it's defined by the municipality, and the city can choose not to pay benefits to those that work over 20 hours.
It's either you pay all or none. You
Right.
cannot.
Right.
Yeah, you can't pay
but
one.
right now, we're doing 1, so or possibly 2, but right now, technically, we do 1. So we would either need to give them all benefits or cut Dwayne's benefits, but he already has a contract that gives him benefits, so I don't know about that.
I don't think we're proposing that per se here.
Well, I'm just saying it's not mandated that because you have TML insurance that you have to pay.
It's the plan that we're on. You
Right.
have to-
Yeah, there's like an HMO plan, there's several plans.
Okay, so you, in summary, if I'm correct, Mayor, I looked at everything, I believe you've got everything else in line. I
Okay.
did look, you're really close. Obviously, so the 2 things to deal with is obviously the payroll, and the other is the utility account, because we've not looked at the utility account, you mentioned that earlier,
Yeah,
so.
okay, sorry, go to the utility account.
When you sent us, you did not give us a utility account, I made one.
Really?
Yeah, I made one, I figured it out.
Well,
I was pretty proud of
that is
myself.
dumb. That is very dumb. So I'll just go back to then that means I didn't change anything in it. So that means it will be in Jared's. I just will have to write down any changes.
No, you can make a new tab and just make one.
I will make a new tab and just
If you go back
make
to the other file. You can copy, you can basically duplicate one of the other ones and just change the pull down from the fund menu. At least the view, we can't change it unless you obviously go back in the raw data, but it gives you the view and
Utilities fund, okay.
or we're not seeing that one.
hold on, cause right now nobody's seeing nothing. So sewer. There we go. All right, so now I gotta just change this and do. Is that the same one? I think that's the same. Yeah. Here I come. Whoa, don't. Did I close it?
No, it just kind of moved, dragged it. It came right over and then,
The shared window is closed. That's so sad.
oh,
All right. I'm going to do share again. Share. Budget, full, no. Budget, work. Stop. No,
it was there on the far right, wasn't it, or the top? What's that one?
that one,
What's that one?
but that's read only. It has to be that one, I guess.
Oh,
Too many of these.
let me just,
I am screen sharing that, all right?
is this the same one you were working with earlier? Right, I'll be fine.
No, no, no. Ah. Share. Participants can see your screen, well, then why wasn't it the right screen?
I like that one.
I know. Full budget summary, it should be that. Oh, come on, Miss Harper, you know this is very exciting.
That's the library. motion.
Yeah, we might wipe it out.
Thank you, bye.
She used to be a teacher, she probably can use a ruler.
All right, so we've got that to the way. Yeah. All right, so are we sharing this now? You are screen sharing.
Do we have anybody left on Zoom?
No. I doubt it. Who would possibly? Okay, so right now it is.
That's that sound that says, don't do whatever. you're
Yeah,
doing.
this is a mistake, run away.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I started. Get away. Oh, that's. What's the problem?
Oh, right.
Oh my gosh.
You got a very sensitive mouse, apparently.
Apparently. And why we don't, why wanna do anything?
Hit update.
It's tired. Oh. I didn't see that. All right, sorry, I was looking at my screen. All right, go, update. Slow, we're good. All right, so is that? Is that the same one that we were doing? Police. Go. Are we in my department? Expense factor. No, didn't we just make the one? Hmm. No. No, oh, that's one for that one. All right. Word heat. Optimize all. All right, thanks.
That's all. That's right. That's right. Yes, could absolutely correct. That is exactly what I said. Okay, so. Oh, he was, that's all.
Okay, utility. Where is the utility pivot table? Oh, good heavens, Peter murdered Floyd. I feel like I'm in hell.
Number hell.
I'm sure hell is worse.
Getting close.
To hell?
No, okay, well, it should be, there's the revenue. There you go. Whoa, my back.
But it wasn't the pivot table.
Oh,
It's
I don't think we ought to get Jared to fix this.
Well, we would have to pay him to fix it.
Yep, we have to pay him again. And now we've messed with the actual numbers that we wanna have in it, so that would not be good either, because then if we
He'll empty what we already added.
They'll tell us we can't have office supplies.
Yeah, you're gonna have to bring them home. Bring them from home. BYOB, BYO. O. S.
Their own bins.
BYOS.
Okay, we're back. We're back. And coming over.
I bet you I could get y'all office paper, office pens, cause man, Pegasus. Provides everything.
No. Cancel, just go away. All right, so. If I start to spontaneously just cry, all right, this is the one we just made. And so.
there you go.
That is the utilities fund sewer. Do we want utilities all?
Yeah, it's usually, it's all, yeah.
So that's what a pivot table means?
Yeah, that's it.
I didn't even know that. That's what that was called.
Okay, so we've got,
Excel, I guess.
maintenance and repairs. 5,200 comes out of the, that is one thing I was gonna ask, Wayne. This table for utilities fund, why does utilities have some of these categories? Like, I get that it would have these because these are maintenance and repairs of the utilities stuff. And it has equipment expenses. But then like, what are fees and penalties with regard to the,
That's fees for it's that one below it, the merchant fees is for the credit cards.
okay, so it actually goes down one row,
Yeah.
okay. Third page.
See, what happens is 5410 just rolls it up to 5400.
Yeah, you can't, you're on the pivot, you can't make.
Oh, duh, I know that, how many times do I have to make that error? 1,000.
We all do.
Yeah, Excel will make you crazy.
So that's actually one down, it's merchant fees. And then contractual services, we got all kind of those for utility fees. I just wanted to make sure all of these are the right things. Because some of them, I wasn't sure. I know laboratory services is correct.
Yeah. and
Solid waste.
That's
That's correct.
TDS, that
Okay,
operations is heat. On 5591,
okay.
so that's legit.
And then down here, supplies. He's been cut out of supplies as well, cause I wasn't sure exactly how that usually works. I know he does need supplies, but does he need office supplies? Does he just need
Yeah, I'm
postage is for the utility billing, right?
yeah, I'm guessing that we probably allocate something, but let me look.
I thought we fixed that.
Well, see, this year, we only spent $277 on office supplies for utilities.
I know,
We
but-
fixed it for office supplies for other stuff,
Oh, gotcha.
like the general office.
Gotcha.
But we transfer money to the general fund as a fixed percentage, if you will.
Yeah.
And that should include the postage, not, I mean,
The postage has always been allocated, I don't know.
okay,
You can say what it should be, but it's always
fair enough, then we'll leave it.
5810, is that the one y'all wondering?
Yeah, office supplies for that. Isn't that because we make paper copies of bills and things to mail out with our postage?
And
Sure, you got points, got that, when you get that little bit.
Oh, I had to buy,
need something a little stronger than water.
that expense is I had to buy, new checks
Oh,
that you sign.
mm-hmm.
There, you work tomorrow?
Of course.
Oh, shit.
I was up at 4 this morning doing paperwork.
Oh, my.
And yesterday I was up at 3 this morning.
Boy, you're a
doing paperwork.
soldier, aren't you?
I don't know how well my brain is.
Electric and gas expenses correct, that's 6,000 for, and that's at the lift stations.
They were saying,
Right, it's the lift stations and the plant, but mainly, the biggest bill is the Crockett lift station.
And then,
And there's one at the apartments too, but that one's
Yeah.
like less than $100.
oh,
I
okay,
don't sleep very much.
so then, outlay for equipment, 9,000. What about like all of those new things that we had to buy this year that were like $30,000?
Yeah.
Does that
Those
not
didn't happen
go in
this
here?
year. So which line are you looking at now?
6120.
well, we originally had a budget of we had 9,000, but. I mean, right now, we're over budget in this account significantly,
Mm-hmm.
and I know this is where I get really confused, so. I'm not a CPA or accountant, okay, but general accounting principles that I would go. If we had an expense that we filed an insurance claim on, the money's come back, gets deducted from the expense, doesn't show up as income, cause it's not income.
Mm-hmm.
It's a reimbursement.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see,
So-
6120. Yeah, that's the net. After we got insurance money back, we got $36,000 worth of insurance, but it was 6,000 short of covering the whole.
So you did what I'm talking about, you took it as a deduction of the expense, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cause that clarifies a lot for me, you know, but that's what I thought you did.
Yeah, this is just what, kind of like you'd say the deductible.
But if we go. Our budgeted total expense for last year for. The solid waste wastewater plant was $355, and according to this, we have an expense of $397. We
Yeah.
still went over $42,000.
Significantly. Mm-hmm.
And now we're having to, you know, I mean, no offense, but we have a budget of $373, and I'm telling you. Every year, we lose money on the utility plant, okay, on the wastewater plant, every year, we go in here, this is my 4th one I've sat through or been through, and I've spoken to Jared. Every year, we do not make money on the utilities. It's all, we always see it.
If you look back at it,
So far, we've only lost $60,000. If we didn't have that one big repair, that we would have broken even so far.
Well, then budget repairs.
Yeah,
Budget
and
repairs for 10 grand, and then have a positive variance if you don't have repairs.
right,
Okay, so, but I'm looking at the expense budget, the expense, we budgeted 355 in expenses and we went to 397.
so,
How are we 40,000? I mean, is that the true number? I mean, I can pull your report.
No, I mean, does that, I show the budget is 346. And we've spent 341. Excuse me, 350.
So you think Jared's estimates there are all wrong?
Right, I mean, we're like 2 months smarter than he is.
Fair enough, that's what I'm getting at. I mean, cause that really affects how we handle this little foo-bar is, this
Well,
becomes a big foo-bar.
one thing about this particular,
346, okay, I got you. We spent 346, 51, 346. So we're probably gonna be over a little bit. We're gonna be somewhere around. Yeah, 360. So we're gonna be over a little bit, but not as bad as Jared's guess here. Okay, I got you, thank you, Dwayne. Cause he's extrapolating, like you said.
so
I'm just trying to confirm that.
that's one of the main areas that I think we need to target this year is to do an actual assessment of all of our expenses and for the repairs that we need to estimate coming up and figure out what it's gonna take to pay Pete or whoever to do maintenance on a routine basis so that we're not just waiting until things break and then we pay him overtime because he has to stop and fix everything that minute because it's broken and the system is down.
Well, isn't that part of contracting with him, is that he
No.
has to?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
it does say he has to do that, but that's an idiotic way to do it if doing maintenance
Right.
is better. So what we
Yeah, why wouldn't he? I thought that was part of his job.
No, it's not. We don't pay him for that. We took all of that out at the time when the city was gonna be bankrupt. Before that, we did. Before that, he always had his job was maintenance and repair. Now it's.
So now it's just wait till it breaks and then we spend a lot of money to fix it.
Mhm.
Okay. That's how it kind of works at my house too.
Yeah. Thomas Turk told me that it's really an extremely
You gotta pay property tax.
expensive and wasteful way to be managing our wastewater treatment system. And that's from an engineer. I don't know what to
He's
say.
only had this contract like 40 years.
So,
It's not like, it was just renegotiated by.
Right.
With any,
yeah,
to what it is.
right,
We
because
had
we
another
didn't have
guy.
any money.
Gerald from Kyle, he was much more expensive, he probably did more.
He did do more. If you look back at the paperwork, he did a lot more.
Was
And
it
once
worth it?
again-
I mean, did it keep us from having to spend a lot of money when things broke?
But it's
I don't
getting
know.
over, it's getting over.
So I talked to Pete, this is before especially when Catherine was on, and we had 3 incidents, which you all got updated on
Mhm.
all at once. And that's one of the things he said, it's like, it used to be back in the day, they planned to, clean out the lines. And you would do a third of the city this year, then a third of the city, then a third of the city. And I asked him like, hey, give us a budget to clean all the lines, how much is that gonna cost us from start to finish? I don't know if you've ever finished that, I haven't seen it.
I bought the equipment for him to do it. I mean, we bought the little jet machine and all that within the last few months. So,
How much did that cost?
Are we doing anything with it?
Yeah, well, part of the problem is he can't do it on the amount of money we're paying him. Cause that's not his contract. But his contract is up this fall, so we need to renegotiate with him. But what I really think we need to do is a study of our wastewater treatment expenses, including
Yeah.
maintenance and including all of that. And then adjust our rates, because right now our rates are incredibly low, and he's the one who actually pointed out that we're still only charging $7.50 to tap. And he said, we're getting just absolutely railroaded on that deal. We've gotta get our rates adjusted so that the system becomes self-maintaining,
Like,
including maintenance and including replacement parts. And right now, it's not, so whenever we go over, we have to either find a grant to pay for it, or we have to take it out somewhere else in the budget.
So that equipment that I bought for him, like I act like I did, was 14, 16. $3,144 we've spent on that jet equipment.
Has it been used yet? But all. Where'd that money come from? Is that the grant money?
No, it's in line 5220, wastewater treatment plant repair and maintenance.
So why did we buy the equipment if we have nobody to use it?
I don't know, he's coming here and he uses it. I mean, we ask him.
But I thought it wasn't part of his job.
It's not, but he will do it if we ask him to do it. But what I'm saying is we need to get ahead of the curve and be building that money in so that it is part of his contract and he's not trying to do it at a rate that is not appropriate for what we need to be paying.
Rate.
Yeah,
I got you. So he's having to come at odd hours when it's.
whenever it's backed up, he can then clean it and fix it, and then he has to have, like, he outsources to have people come in and put in new clean outs and whatnot. But our system isn't designed right now, financially speaking, like budgeting wise, to sustain itself through our fees. And that's what we need to change.
I agree.
Yeah.
I thought we had to get, we spent $35,000 on a piece of equipment, that's not in the budget
What are you talking about?
for P,
No, 3,500.
3,500?
Yeah.
But you can spend.
Just okay, sure.
Gotcha.
I agree with the mayor, I had this conversation with Pete, and he needs some help, I think, to write the plan per se, but.
Oh, no, I don't expect him to write the plan.
But
We
he
need
has
to,
that knowledge.
Deanna actually knows an incredible amount about all of the details of our system and what other cities are paying. And how much they charge for caps and blah, 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 because that's what it's all related to her master's thesis. So, yeah, no, I think we need to get a meeting with him and get his input on the exact list of things. Like he gave us a list of all of the maintenance stuff he used to perform under Mayor Bagley.
Yeah.
But we still need to,
That Fort back.
yeah, but we need to price out what does that cost in today's terms. And we also need to do an actual evaluation of our rates based on the amount that we forecast it will take to maintain and to replace and to all of that. So I think we can do that this year. It's just gonna take some time to do it. So this year, we're gonna have to put a Band-Aid on it and then really dig into that before next budget season.
Is that pump still around, the one that we were gonna install? I mean,
I do not know. I do not know.
Can I ask which account is postage? Never mind, I found it. Yeah. I'm having the same problem, I think you are, Mayor, I'm not sure. My eyes are hurting. Cause,
Yeah, it's under supplies if we.
so we have 4, okay, alright.
well, you just wanna wait and talk to Pete to finalize those, maintenance numbers and go to personnel, because, well, personnel is something that we wanna figure out tonight perhaps, or.
I don't think we can do much with the utility money this year. We don't have any flexibility built in. Next year, we need to have our rates adjusted so that it's not just up to the budget to figure out. It's like actually will make money.
Next year is next month.
No, I mean the next time we do budget, not this time. We don't have time to do
5
it.
days. Yeah.
We don't have an entire study worth of time left. We need to this year put a Band-Aid on it like we do every year. And then prepare for 2027 fiscal year.
What are you city administrator?
Hopefully, but
You'll have to start this in March.
It'll be whatever it is, and, maybe our numbers would be better if we did start in March. So anyhow, I don't think we can do anything about it right now, except just to say, do these numbers look like they'll get us through until we can actually address the root causes in the
The
problem?
only flexibility we have is account 9998 and 9999, which is the payroll. The payroll, based on those two employees, is roughly that number, it's within $1,000.
Oh, yeah, let's look at that.
And then the overhead reimbursement is, you've gone up a little bit, but you know, it's in the wheelhouse. So when we say that the wastewater plant doesn't make money, it's because we've been giving money to the general fund and admin. So it's a,
Yeah, we give 50% of the billing to the admin for just overhead. And then payroll is actually, we don't spend as much, but I guess now we've replaced that second position again.
that is
That'll
based
go
on,
back up.
it's really close. It's
Just like last month, it was only $1,300 was all that Donna cost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she is
Average
going to
50
quit
people.
if she doesn't get back down to 2 days.
So, yeah, based on the 4-day week, that is what it'll be.
Yeah, it used to be 2,700 a month, so, yeah.
Yeah, so that's it, that's very great. Okay, that's,
Yeah, and I don't know, I mean, you can lower that overhead reimbursement to 10% or something, but it's gonna, also, it'll decrease the general fund. Cause that money's just going over the general fund, so you'll have to cut something else in the general fund if you lower that.
okay, so what is our? Okay, so are we good with the utility? Are we all good with the
I don't think
utility? I think
there's
we're
not
good with
much
utility.
we can do there.
So at this point, I think we need to look at the big picture, what's our general fund income versus expense, where are we at on a nutshell?
Mm-hmm.
Big picture wise, and then we've got to start getting the red ink out and figure out if we are negative, what are we gonna do to make it not negative?
Mm-hmm.
So,
We do a fundraiser?
I'm already involved in one right now, so I'm not doing another one, thank you. We're getting ready, we're gonna do the fire, when they get the shell done, we're projecting to do the fire one in April of next year.
What are we gonna do with our old fire?
They're not getting rid of it, because what's happening is
Oh, they'll use it for storage.
because right now, like Bill said, there are two of the vehicles cannot park inside. We have to leave them out, and so the bay over there only has so many, they're gonna probably lose one to the ambulance. And they had it, you know, so and we're actually we're pricing on another brush truck, an upgraded brush truck. So we got a tank that it took us 4 years to get the grant approved, and then the last year's fundraiser paid to put it in. It was $20,000 just to put get the matching funds to make it happen. And then we can take the hardware for that and put it on the bigger truck, because the truck we have is like 18 years old. But that's gonna cost about 25 and then another 20 to outfit it. So the ESD will pay the 20, but we have to pay the 25.
Okay, but come on, let's get back to this or table
Yeah,
this,
let's get back to
because, we need to go home sometime.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm ready to go.
I agree.
All right, so,
Wrap it up.
yep, so looking at this, compared to last year's budget, the blue lines are last year's and the red lines are this year. The green line is just like end of year projection, but
But we know it's not, yeah.
those are not necessarily the most helpful. So looking at that, I mean, there's an increase in the court, and we just talked about why, and that's the staffing. Because we have had one person working there a million hours a week.
If you hover over the blue for where's last year, this year?
The blue one is last year and the red one is this year.
And the far left is the total?
Mm-hmm.
And so we're over by how much this year? relative-
Compared to last
Yeah,
year,
what's the difference?
about $30,000. Yep, and so then,
Next year, we're gonna come in about dead even.
do I?
I was asking Dwayne, this year he thinks we're gonna come in like pretty much balanced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And remind me, okay, now, so this is the budget, not revenue. Did revenue increase year over year?
No.
Anybody remember this?
No, not much.
Revenue's flat?
Mhm.
So we're not looking at the,
Well, the
Hold on,
property
there.
taxes are up, I don't know, what was it? 10 or 12,000, weren't they?
I thought they were, yeah. I thought we were up a little bit.
Oh, look, like 12,000.
Okay.
Just from.
So
Property
that
tax.
says.
Property tax, I thought you meant like regular overall.
So that says. If you take the 12 from the 30, then you've got an $18,000 overrun, right? Because the revenues are up by 12 and expenses are up by 30, as projected right now. You've got an 18,000 overrun from last year.
Mhm.
okay, but we're here to do the budget. The budget needs to be, what is our revenue projection for this year? And I'll be honest with you, I don't look at anything other than the general account. Because the utility fund is its own entity, all the other ones are restricted, they don't affect us. The utility fund is the only one that is commingled, and as long as we are fixed on how we process it, the general account is where,
So what are projected revenues? Do we have that number?
I don't know what the,
Right here.
What is it?
so the general operating account projected revenue is 637.
637, and what, and if you hover over your projection, what is that number?
The projection says 644.
Is that right? So it's on four for
Says right
expenses.
there.
For
That's
expenses,
it, I calculated.
So she said that was revenue.
revenue, 644 was revenue,
Projected.
all right? And what were expenses on that other chart? You had it there. If you hover over the red, what number does
If
it
you go to the
go
top, the numbers are on.
That one.
I don't think you can get, oh, it does, 305.
305.
No, that doesn't include city administration.
Oh, that's true,
You
yeah.
have to include both city administration and general government.
Mhm.
305, and how much is the
160, 165.
165?
Mhm.
And municipal court has revenue too, that's kind of part of that.
I still only get 470, so I'm just.
What's up higher there in that spreadsheet? Is there any data?
That,
No, not the table. What's above here? Is there any
Scroll up.
data? There we go. Yeah, but that's not, yeah. I did a report. It shows the expenses for the general account based on the pivot table, and I don't think, I have to check to see if it updated the 20 that we did. Cause I'm obviously, I'm not doing what the mayor is doing on, the live way, I don't include this. But
so
we were-
general operating is
Yeah.
right here. For expenses.
Yeah, 736. Does that include the 20? I don't think it does,
Where 20?
the fire hydrants.
Oh,
No, it does not. That was the number that we had from that you sent us earlier, the spreadsheet you sent us earlier.
yes,
It was 736 was the total.
so it would be
Now it's
756.
It's 756.
And we think revenues are gonna be what?
It hasn't changed, the revenues.
644,
It's 40, yeah,
is that right?
yeah,
And it is a deficit of 112.
there we go.
Sounds high.
Sounds very high.
Mhm. And we're confident in these numbers?
Yeah, they already done. I mean, if, when there's a cleanup, then, and you resave it. and then you refresh the pivot, it adjusts, it's supposed to fix it. I can't do it on mine because, which is just as well, because I get to read out, the one that we got sent. But the mayor has one, and so that's why she has to go to that chart with all the spread, that's where the pivot table brought that is. And then, but mine doesn't do that, I don't have all the access.
So can we check the revenue number one last time? And we're confident on the 756 for expenses as rolled up.
Yeah, the revenue would be the only, because we didn't adjust revenue, I was going by revenue from last week,
So can we,
but that's a
so
great.
Mayor, where's revenue?
I'm looking, there it is. Well, that's all of it. Oh, but you know what I think I did? Hold on. So if I go back and do. Where did it go? Is it under data? Where's my, formula? There it is. So if I do all of the revenue. Yeah, then it's 109.
Yeah, but you're including all activities, you know.
Oh, you only want what?
We only want the general account.
On the general account. Well, that's it. What's the general account?
Chip. Well, it's a pivot, it's the general operating from 29 up. Yeah, so.
Oh, but didn't you also want, oh no,
No,
that's true.
yeah, no.
Yeah, you're right. You got it, you got it.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying, I know exactly what you're thinking too on that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just select those cells, it'll tell you the sum without having to do the calculation. You don't have to do a sum. Just select them. And now. 637, 164, is that what everybody else sees?
637, that sounds about right.
It's right there, right? See where it says sum?
Yeah,
And you've got them all selected, right? You have all the right accounts.
that's what we had before, 637.
637.
Yeah, the revenue is the same.
637. Against expenses of 756. Is that right?
Yeah.
637 is last year's budget. We've already brought in 636 through 11 months.
That was the projected budget that we just did before. That we worked on the other day. So the issue of that is, the one thing that in revenue, which we discussed and didn't go into detail, was sales tax. So the sales tax budget last year was 53,000 and it's already at 70 something.
75.
Are we done paying that money back for the other situation?
I don't know that we are.
I thought we weren't gonna be done until the spring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we are. We haven't gotten any notification.
Well, they were just gonna stop taking it, but, well, all of a sudden, we must be out of it, because the sales tax has gone goofy in the last three or 4 months, the last 5 months. But I remember that, you were in that, you were just got it, you lucky dog, you just got put in the council.
Yeah, me and Terry.
Yeah, and just got exposed to that situation. And it was supposed to be 2 years.
Yeah,
So that's why I'm like, but how is our sales tax all of a sudden gone 20,000 over?
yeah.
For next.
It's an excellent question.
to get a revenue number variance.
I think we only put it in the budget, Jared assumed the number was wrong. When we had the meeting, and so he left it at 57, and then we double checked and
Yeah,
Dwayne said, yeah, no, it's already at 73, it's a real number, and we're like. I mean, good, that's the only thing that we have, that I knowingly know there's an issue with revenue. That I know that we are probably lowballed on that. I'm concerned as to why, because what industry came into town all of a sudden,
What?
we are collecting,
What's this?
inside the city is 1.5.
So 20 grand divided by 1.015 is what gross number are we gonna do?
It's pretty gross, alright.
That's gonna be 200 grand. No,
Now you divide, it's 20 grand. Divided by 0.015.
yeah, where's that?
1.3 million.
So we picked up some tax base of 1.3 million.
Acre. I don't know what the heck it is.
That seems high, I mean,
Yeah.
That's safe.
I mean, over the course of the year, it's 100,000 a month.
Do you mind if I just lay down right here?
I'm gonna get it, I don't mind, I
So
think that.
when you get those reports from the controller,
Yeah,
It's really nice, I love
I'm
it.
trying to find one of them.
yeah, but they've been slowly going, I mean, this is a significant, I mean. Not all that taxable either. A lot of that's not. Yeah.
well, we did have a lot of sales tax this past year, the cafe was running more.
I mean, this is significant, this is not, this is not, you're increasing it over 25%, well, actually,
$8.
30%, over 30%. Above our budget, that is a red flag.
As a projection, you mean?
Our projection was 53, I think we're gonna get really, really close to 80.
Man, nothing's come in really that big.
If you remember in the conversation from before, the issue is, are we getting money we're not supposed to get?
Right,
Exactly.
somebody's saying they're in the city when they're not.
Exactly, so someone says they're in the city, and the city gets the money, this is
And
what
then
happened.
And we have to pay it back,
What
yes.
We not-
Jeez.
and
Someone,
the-
that's not what happened, that's not what happened. What happened was, someone said, they're really not in the city, so that's what happened, okay? But if you collect tax from an entity and they make the mistake, the city's gotta pay it back.
Yeah,
And that's what we're doing, we're paying back sales tax for an entity that was determined not to be where they actually conduct the business. Not inside the city limits.
Well, my favorite,
Part of it is. But business is conducted, it's not inside the city. Yes,
they're still taking $1,900.
yeah, so that's not out.
And all.
Well, that comes out. That doesn't come out of this fiscal year.
All right, well, so getting back to this, so our best estimate right now is we have $112,000 deficit, we have expenses of $746, and we have revenue of $756, and revenue of $644. That's $112,000 deficit. I don't know how we run it.
Just to go back, the sales tax number that we're getting every month has climbed and it's been steady. From them. But to answer your question more, yes.
So it started out at $6,700, it's at $7,600. There's one month that's $9,500, there's one big month in there. But yeah, we've gotten 75,000 through 11 months.
So we're gonna break 80. That's the only thing on the budget that on a revenue that I knowingly know we went under on. And we had 57. So if we made that 80, that would obviously give us $23,000.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be 82.
23.
23
more.
57 to 80, 23.
Wait, where does that even go?
That is line, 40 in revenue in general operation.
So we still got we got a $90,000 quiet.
Forty. That's just to say.
So we got a $90,000 problem, and that is true. We have a $90,000 problem with that.
Gee, that sounds so much better.
See, that's exactly why, when I saw all of these numbers, that's why I was like panicking, trying to raise our tax rate.
still
but
scary.
then
Still
we-
a
that's in the
deficit.
deadline.
This, where do we think the $90,000 difference is between last year's actuals and this year's
Okay.
budget?
Good point.
Building expense for renovations
Yeah.
is 40, I think you dropped it to 45, right?
Because there's 9,000 in the thing, we thought when we were planning it, we had way more than that. So I didn't know whether you can even do like,
So half of it's the remodel.
The remodel is one, and 20,000 is the, fire hydrants.
that's 70,
That's 65.
that's 65.
And then 7,500, I don't know what I think you changed it to 7,000. Let me see what you did on the last. The last one was, 16, 20. Yeah, you went to, and 7,000 is Windows 11 upgrade computers.
Yeah, from that capital investment thing, and that can't be undone, like, that's required.
This
Or
year's
buy
expenses,
computers.
this year's expenses include the roof, yes?
Mhm.
And we won't do the roof next year.
No, that was not even in the budget.
Yeah, we did.
We just took that out of the fund.
We in essence, in theory, my understanding is we were supposed to amend the budget
I hear you.
for that big of an expense, but we didn't, but now, when we do the, one thing that I every year I go to Dwayne, I wanna do a year-end review, we're supposed to do a year-end review and clean up.
Yeah.
And then that way we didn't, we're almost doing it here, you know, but you always want the year-end one to kind of go, well, we should have moved that money in this account.
And we got a $90,000 deficit and half of it's in the remodel. Yeah, so I've got
And half of it's what?
in the remodel.
Yeah, so why don't we just don't do the remodel?
Why don't we not do the remodel
Yeah.
and cut our deficit?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think that's what we have to do.
That's an obvious one. So now we got a 45.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, the
so-
computers, the 7,000 for computers.
But the
is
roof
not
has
off.
already been done.
Don't
That
even count that'll be, don't worry about that.
Okay.
The roof was the roof was never in the budget. We
Okay.
just took it out of the account.
okay.
We had the money and we had it sort of
It's kind of like using a credit card.
Yeah, we have a capital replacement account, because the money was in there, so put it out there.
Okay.
All right, so we got a 45. If we don't do the remodel, so
Mhm.
it's a very prudent thing
Yeah.
to not do.
Yeah,
We got a $45,000 problem.
Still sounds like a problem, but it's better.
And what's total expenses?
736, before we just started doing stuff.
So 7.
No, 756. I'm sorry,
56,
756.
minus 45 is gonna be 711. That's the new budget without the remodel.
And so you think we're, how much too short?
Well, revenue I'm hearing is 637.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Revenue 637.
Yep.
That includes 8,000 for sales tax or not?
No. No, it does not. So if you were to add, so if we take the 637 and add the 23. The 660,
All right, 660
okay,
against 711, that's 51K.
yep,
That's our deficit right now.
51.
51,000 is our deficit.
so. Yeah, I think that's.
I don't see how we're gonna break even this year. We're going to have more taxes next year, but we're gonna go that far under. It's very interesting.
Well, from a payroll point of view, I think we were way underspent this year, right?
That's
Yeah.
I think that's a major contributing factor here.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the budget's assuming that the reality that we can't run this place on.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, you need more than that.
Yeah, you need more about, it doesn't, it's not a fun thing to do.
So I think that's part of the difference between expenses year over year, between the break even that you get now. In fact, it's probably the total difference. If you were to add up the underspend on payroll and aggregate that number, I'll bet you're gonna come up to something
Yeah.
close to
I know what you're
50
talking
grand.
about.
which means the city's probably in exactly the same place it was last year. We just underspent on payroll last year.
Well, we budgeted, there were just, when people left, we just didn't replace them, and so you had, just had a set.
I had positive variance on.
But we were balanced, we had a balanced budget last year, we balanced it.
No, I get it, but if we would have spent to our payroll budget and not underspent.
But we,
Because Dwayne thinks we're gonna break even for the year, which means, and we're underspent, so if we would have spent the budget, we would have.
We would have been out.
For the year.
And that's because a lot of what Jared did was just focus on making sure the budget was balanced, not that it was realistic to the expenses. Because on paper, his is much closer to balancing, but that's because he did like $500 for supplies and things that are not.
Anything else discretionary outside of payroll, like the remodel that we're doing,
We're not doing now.
that is possible to remove from the budget? Consider for removal from the budget. Is there anything else, 10 grand, 20 grand, larger in size?
No.
Yeah. For expenses.
no, not to my knowledge, I would love for someone to
Think of
find something,
something?
but I.
How about that line 44 there?
There you go.
Nobody said it.
You do know, Dwayne, you're being recorded.
No,
okay?
He said line 44.
Well, no comment.
Jeez.
At least you waited until she left.
Right. Again.
Right.
Still.
It is still being recorded and it will be posted on the website.
Just keep it in mind.
Well, they're gonna have to watch for a pretty darn long time, aren't they?
51. All right, if we ran a $51,000 deficit, it would come out of our, emergency fund or?
No, we've got a general fund overflow.
It was 263 as of the report that we were receiving, and it dwindles another month worth, right? So it'll be down to
I think
220.
it's actually, it may be more than that, because if you look, there's under the TFIA section,
Yeah,
there's one that says other at the bottom.
yeah, what is that?
That's interest that's accrued over the years. I say that's,
What do you mean interest is accrued? Why is it listed separately?
I don't know, that's that.
Huh?
It always has been, even,
I'm sorry, let me go back.
It's income, right? One's an asset and the other one's income.
well, no, it.
Interest,
Interest is income,
It's income.
yeah.
and the other thing's an asset.
I don't know why it's,
In other words, it's just,
It's a separate line because it's income.
Yeah, you report it separate on your taxes too.
no, but what I'm saying is there's you really need to say you've got 263
Yeah.
plus $91,000 of interest that's accumulated.
350 grand.
well, it'll be down, we still have another month of expense to spend out of that.
Yeah, we'll spend some money because we won't start getting property taxes till November.
So we'll drain about, how much this last month?
Probably another bit, we'll probably spend 50 of it.
Okay, so we're down to 300.
Call it 300. And if you ran a deficit of 51, that would be 249. If you burn 50 out of there, it's overflow from.
And we can blame the county for not letting us raise our tax rate.
Well, we kind of didn't get it there, Tom. If we would have raised the tax rate, how much more did?
It wasn't that much money.
How much was it, 12 grand?
No, if you win 3.4, it was almost 50. Right, it was right here.
So there's your number.
There's what happened.
I was trying my best to get us there.
So, if we
Raise it next year.
raise it next year, we don't and we had exactly the same situation, we would stay at 250 and we'd have a one-time burn on the.
Well, you do, one of the items on here is the capital improvement. Okay, so I treat capital improvement just like, you know, emergencies of not that we should not have money left over. But when you have a capital improvement, you know, like the roof, you know, we have to do it, or in this case, the fire hydrant. That is what it is. It's not it's not something that you need in order to run the business. It is a
Long-term.
that's a long term, and that's what you take your surpluses for. You know, I mean, that's what I do. I make more extra money, that's vacation money, so.
Did y'all have the parks money out, line items out?
Yeah.
So I don't think it's unreasonable to say that our intention as a council is to raise the tax rate, which would offset this deficit next year and take our, what do you call it, overflow fund from 300 to 249, 250. That does not sound like an irresponsible thing to do.
And we've still got 268 in the emergency.
That does not sound like an irresponsible thing to do. I don't think anybody's ever said that to me. That was a good way of putting that, Mark.
Well, not to make it even closer, you know, there's a way to. There's a way to make it close. There's a way.
What is that way?
Well, you still can reduce the expenses. You can still remove stuff from the line item. What is the sales tax number been? You said it's gonna be break 80, right? And so that's 6,600 a month. Have we had any months under the 6,600 in the last 6 months? Or you think that's a seasonal thing, or you think we just picked up some new business that's now giving us an extra $2,000 a month or $1,500 a month in
See, what I think happens is he adjusts it for the fact that the state, we're paying down the state's debt
yeah.
with revenue. But it's still revenue. So he's pulling it down by that part that the state is keeping.
So the number you're reporting is,
It's grossed up by that.
Yeah.
so the 80 is not a real number then either.
It's not a real cash flow number. It's a real governmental accounting number.
Okay, so then where's the expense of that on the report?
It's not, it's on the balance sheet as the debt goes down every month by $2,000.
Oh, shit.
Being recorded, remember.
Yeah.
Is that dog literally not moved the entire time? It's exactly the same thing. The last.
He's a good
I haven't moved either.
He's a good boy.
People haven't moved in 4 hours.
We feel safe there.
Well,
We're
We
getting.
have to finalize the budget tonight?
no, absolutely not. And in fact, what I was
This might be
going
a good
to,
breaking point.
Yes.
It is quite possible we have reached our.
what I was going to
Not talking about
suggest,
capacity.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna go beyond this situation anymore.
what I was going to suggest is that maybe there is a time, Maury, when either Monday or Monday or Thursday, when Dwayne is back in the office, that Maury and Matthew and Dwayne and I can meet and
That'd be awesome.
continue working on
I'd
this.
be happy to do that.
Yeah, I
And I'll be happy to check your work.
Are y'all okay with that, gentleman over there?
I am fine with that.
Sam, I don't know, we can get a pencil out and you can write it. I like what I'm gonna get you the old fashioned calculator, you
I feel a
know.
motion coming on. Anybody feel like making a motion at 9:59?
I'll make a motion to adjourn at 9:59 PM.
I say,
No. Yeah, wait a minute, wait. Stop. Yeah. Slow down, that's why we have an attorney present. We need to do something about 4 point something, 2. So.
Oh, yeah, we tabled it.
No, yeah, we need to just say we're gonna table it again, not table it, we're going to
Postpone it.
postpone it. Nice job, Terry.
The one thing I remember.
I love it.
We knew you were good for
Motion on
something.
that? We make a motion on that?
Yes.
I motion that we postpone 4.2.
I'll second that.
Hotel tax thing, we have to.
Did we postpone that? Is that a postponing? We said we were gonna.
I don't remember
So I
us
guess
post-
it's postponing.
I don't remember us
But
saying.
does it say, and action, or does it say and possible action?
It's possible. I think it says it's possible.
It's.
It's It's discussion and action.
No, we can add that later, okay.
So we'll make a motion to table, what number?
4.2 and 4.4.
Postpone. Did I say table? I swear.
Postpone.
Postpone.
Postpone 4.2 and 4.4.
And 4.4.
No, 4.9.
Or something.
Oh,
Are you postponing them till the same day? If
Yeah.
not, you should do separate motions.
okay. So let's first, let's second the motion that, or did we already? Let's second the motion that Mari made to postpone it, 4.2. So can we vote on that?
I'll second that.
You made the motion, I seconded it.
I'll do that. Yay, yay.
I vote
Sam.
I.
Dan.
Did I?
What about I?
That's, we gotta do two separate motions, because we don't do it separate, we gotta do them both at the same, yeah. So then I'll make a motion to postpone item 4.5.
I second.
I'll make a motion to adjourn. I forgot the word, 10:02 PM.
Second.
Aye.